All the dab on me, man. All the drip on me and Z Bentley, man. Ain't know what the fuck going on, man. Got all the dab on me. Got all the drip on me. Got all the dab on me. Got all the drip on me. Got all the dab, all the dab. Got all the drip, all the drip. Got all the dab, all the dab. Got all the drip, all the drip. Got all the dab on me. Got all the drip on me. I got all the dab on me. All the drip on me. I got all the dab, all the dab. All the drip, all the drip. I got all the dab, all the dab. I got all the drip, all the drip.
Other bitch holding up the beam. Got a moon walking like she Billie Jean. She say she on 3, that's triple team. Say she on 3, that's triple team. And I'm fucking around and hit 3 niggas. Goddamn shawty, that's triple beam. 40 hanging out a nigga denim jean. 40 hanging out a nigga denim jean. And I'm kicking shit, no bully. She walked in the bed like screw me. But I pat down my foolie. I used to be bro, didn't know me. Swift women, I ain't talking boom game. Me and everybody hit the motherfucking floor. Got a rollie on my wrist, couple hundreds on my face. I'm a shilly bitch, you already know. Late night in the church with the killer gorillas and thug niggas in the motherfucking creature. And I'ma throw the D real for a little nigga, and you know that your bitch the receiver. Nigga ain't gon' win on the beater. Make the whole stand still black beater. Bitch, you flying the motherfucking eagle. Bitch, you flying the motherfucking eagle.
Got all the dab on me. Got all the drip on me. Got all the dab on me. Got all the drip on me. Got all the dab, all the dab. Got all the drip, all the drip. Got all the dab, all the dab. Got all the drip, all the drip. Got all the dab on me. Got all the drip on me. I got all the dab on me. All the drip on me. I got all the dab, all the dab. All the drip, all the drip. I got all the dab, all the dab. Got all the drip, all the drip. Bitch, I been there since sunshine. I run the south, I run sun up the sundown. We can put them friends up, put them guns down. Or we can put them guns on which way you want now. Kick it with the bird, bind down. Blue fade rollers and them diamonds on bust down. Had a bad day, you better hush now. Hey, bitch, I been dabbing, bitch, I been having. Rolling all gas, that much now. I ran on the ride, that's a touchdown. Move, fool, get the shit go. So the dick so long, she caught the hit go. I want thank God for a new year. Hey, I pour that act in the motherfucking roof. Additional year on the coupe. I look up and I ain't her roof. And I can't shit no fever. My pockets swell up like the measles. I pull up and pop at your people. Patrolling the spot with the heater. Don't say no name, I got amnesia. I lick it and leave on the teaser. No second, no, I can't repeat it. I told her Michael Jackson beat it. Got all the dab on me. Got all the drip on me. Got all the dab on me. Got all the drip on me. Got all the dab, all the dab. Got all the drip, all the drip. Got all the dab, all the dab. Got all the drip, all the drip. Got all the dab on me. Got all the drip on me. I got all the dab on me. All the drip on me. I got all the dab, all the dab. All the drip, all the drip. I got all the dab, all the dab. Got all the drip, all the drip.
I read when me smoking. When it come to the I'm not joking. Here I'm smoking.
I just wanna walk into a dispensary to get my medicine, or even pick it up from the pharmacy. For me or my virgin, tell the doctor to write my prescription to remedy my affliction. Don't want to smoke and hide them, to legalize it worldwide on the ganja. I need it, I need my weed. Give me 2 pounds on the highest grade. I need it, I need my weed. Taking pills just ain't my speed. No, when the high grade me want, check the green glass just we get a one jar. Dirty Babylon and tell me say me can't. When me want smoke me not pray law. Tell the officer fi go and bill. Ganja me need whenever me want fi chill. Burn out syrup, fire upon a pill. Them think they will get yourself killed. Alright then, not take cocaine that a fi psycho. Me rather get a good piece of high jump. So out of California me fly gun. Me never burn nothing when get me eyes on now. Sometimes you can't tell when me vaporize it, it no leave no smell. Anytime I day me not feeling well, me have to go there with the weed sell. Alright then, I just wanna walk into a dispensary to get my medicine, or even pick it up from the pharmacy. To me or my virgin, tell the doctor to write my prescription to remedy my affliction. Don't want to smoke and hide them fi legalize it worldwide on the ganja. I need it, I need my weed. Give me 2 pounds on the highest grade. I need it, I need my weed. Taking pills just set my speed. High grade put me in a good mood. High spirit, positive attitude. Only time me ever get rude. How will me go a day without me brain food? Everybody know I weed heal the nation. Cure headache and help meditation. But right now me can't give me medication without worry about incarceration. The government no want legalize ganja, but them blow cigarette fi give me cancer. You are that the politician them a sponsor. They want fi hook the people for something stronger now. I the herb them want stop when they legalize a then for the crime rate drop. Them coulda just relax, give we a ganja tax, so we wouldn't have use for the cops. But right now, I just wanna walk into a dispensary to get my medicine, or even pick it up from the pharmacy. To me and my virgin, tell the doctor to write my prescription to remedy my affliction. Don't want to smoke and hide them to legalize it worldwide on the ganja.
I need when me smoking. When it come to ganja, I'm not joking. Yeah, I'm smoking.
I just wanna walk into a dispensary to get my medicine, or even pick it up from the pharmacy. To me and my virgin, tell the doctor to write my prescription to remedy my affliction. Don't want to smoke and hide them to legalize it worldwide on the ganja. I need it, I need my weed. Give me 2 pounds on the highest grade. I need it, I need my weed. Taking pills just set my speed. I need it, I need my weed. Give me 2 pounds on the highest grade. I need it, I need my weed. Taking pills just set my speed.
Two sugars and a wake and bake. 2 sugars and a wake and bake. 2 sugars and a wake and bake. 2 sugars and a wake and bake. I'm laughing at her. She's trying to roll. Can't roll a split for life. Said, truth be told, I said good morning to you. What's up? It's coffee in the kitchen. Pour me a cup. 2 sugars and a wake and bake. 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 2 sugars and a wake and bake.
2 sugars and a wake and bake. I stuff the joint with my shoelace. I'm on the grind straight making cake. I smoke some, digging my mind straight. A good look, I can forget your face. I really want you to come through my place. You sent a text and said I'm on my way. Getting late, I think that you should stay. 2 sugars and a wake and bake, but this time it's the very next day. From my window you can see the whole bay. They can't do it like me, no way. 3's up for that HBK, and it's rich city, nigga, not V8, where we need our money on time, not late, and we on the grind like every day. So it's 2 sugars and a wake and bake. That's what helps me relax my mind. Everything in slow motion, happening in due time. You not about that life, man, you lying. My stuff alright, my mind is on Zion. I be so high, touch clouds as I'm climbing 30,000 feet, yeah, that's my climate.
2 sugars and a wake and bake. 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 2 sugars and a wake and bake.
I smoke 2 joints to the face. I love the way it tastes. Man, I'm on. I blow OG and lemon tree. The joints on me, and it's too damn strong. Look, I don't really share, and I don't really care if it smell like weed when I put it in the air. I'm a California bear, West Coast cure. Fresh wax joint got me stuck on the chair. My stash look mean, my glass so clean. Roll big joints, white ash only. Yeah, me and Sue get stoned and laugh. And the S-Class Benz on hash. Plant a seed, let the weed grow. Hit the crowd, burn an ounce up. I'm on diesel, I'm in NY. Boy, I been high. In the club with 24 pre-rolls. Oh my, don't blow my high. Me and Kylie both know why. The good herb, why I need to be free. So vote legal in 216. Wake up and take a hit like me. 2 sugars and black coffee. Yeah, I get stoned in the AM. Fuck the club, roll up and stay in.
2 sugars and a wake and bake. 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 2 sugars and a wake and bake.
blunt, purple drink in my cup. Someone tell the DJ, crank it on up. Yeah, crank it up, crank it on up, crank it up. Sour diesel up in my blunt, purple drink up in my cup, crank it up, crank it on up. That's D, oh that's D, got me smoking the bass, no stress cheese, now hold up, now roll up, check the situation, bout to go nuts, with a little bit of perk up in my cup, you could tell the bartender to fill it on up, that's alright, baby, work your stuff, and that's all night, baby, work your strut, you and your friends can ride when I go, take a little spin in my Monte Carlo, take a little dip, baby, show you how I roll, take a little hit, baby, puff on the hydro, eyes so lit, make me look like my eyes closed, purple drink mix, make me look like my eyes glow, Hypno Grey Goose with a little grape juice, that's how it is, so I'ma have to take side diesel in my blunt, purple drink in my cup, someone tell the DJ, crank it on up, side diesel in my blunt, purple drink in my cup, someone tell the DJ, crank it on up, yeah, crank it up, crank it on up, crank it up, sour diesel up in my blunt, purple drink up in my cup, crank it up, crank it on up, it's the ADX team with no doubt in between, and we stay fresh and clean when we hop on the scene, and we style on them, profile on them, if they wanna act crazy then we wild on them, it's the S to the T and that Cambo G, either Maserati blue or the Lambo green, and that Chevrolet mean when it drop on the street, either hating on you or they hating on me, and it's shaved up, raised up, driving to the flow, got them blades to stay tough, and the candy on the bike, same color as sour, catch me on the site 100 miles per hour, this is my life, so this ain't ours, so I stay tight, so this is power, with the ADX team, you can call us some brave hearts, sour diesel trees, you can call it the trademark, side diesel in my blunt, purple drink in my cup, someone tell the DJ, crank it on up, side diesel in my blunt, purple drink in my cup, someone tell the DJ, crank it on up, yeah, crank it up, crank it on up, crank it up, sour diesel up in my blunt, purple drink up in my cup, crank it up, crank it on up, West Coast, crank it on up, East Coast, crank it on up, Midwest, crank it on up, down south, crank it on up, yeah, crank it up, crank it on up, crank it up, sour diesel up in my blunt, purple drink up in my cup, crank it up, crank it on up.
SG, DJ Dale, Big Bell, Killer P, Gino with the OE, it's the ADX team. 462 Mob.
Yeah, you know. Well, everything is alright, girl. Why you know when I'm smoking with you?
Love is purified, it will pop up unidentified. I'm feeling energized, cause world peace is what we symbolize. Don't live a lie, be truthful and also thoughtful. A boy becoming a man, a king is what they should call you. They say Moses seen Jesus through a burning bush. So like the Mary Jane before you learn this hook. Conversations with a queen that's a smoker, blowing love and lightened by the weed you brought over. I leaned a little closer and told her,
small world we're living in, rock set in stone. One life I've been living in. Come on, let's go. I wanna get high, I wanna get low. Come on, I wanna smoke a little split with you. I wanna get high, I wanna get low. Come on, I wanna smoke a little split with you.
Estábamos en México por la playa de Cancún. Iba caminando yo con el negrito Dum Dum.
Entonces empezamos a enrular marihuana. es una planta natural, no es mala. Dios la puso aquí para nosotros fumarla. Hay que legalizarla hasta el cáncer lo sana.
Hear me now, hay que prenderlo, hay que encenderlo. No quiero que digas no, Babylon. Te soy sincero, buena te quiero, escucha lo que digo yo. I wanna get high, I wanna get low. Come on, I wanna smoke a little split with you. I wanna get high, I wanna get low. Come on, I wanna smoke a little split with you. Lord knows I'm not a fool, I'm just crazy for you. I can feel it in the way things go. Lord, what I do. I wanna get high, I wanna get low. Come on, I wanna smoke a little split with you. I wanna get high, I wanna get low. Come on, I wanna smoke a little split with you. Smoking love, smoking love. Yeah, you know. Well, everything is alright, girl. Well, you know when I'm smoking with you. Whoa, it's been a little time inside. Pull it up, girl. You know what to do. I wanna get high over the moon. On the left side, pass it over to you. On the low, everything is alright, girl. Well, you know when I'm smoking with you. Give me that good high grade, that Bob Marley strain, we make you feel no pain, you know. This smoke I feel me brain, listen to my octane, you know me now go change, you know. Let's sip some good champagne and pop some good champagne, I hope you feel the same, you know. And girl, don't play no games because you know what I'm talking about. I wanna get high, baby, let's go. Come on, I wanna smoke a big spliff with you. I wanna get high, baby, let's go. Come on, I wanna smoke a big spliff with you. Cause you're my smoking love. Smoking love. I wanna be alone with you and get us down. I wanna go home with you and let alone. I wanna get high, I wanna get low. Come on, I wanna smoke a little split with you. I wanna get high, I wanna get low. Come on, I wanna smoke a little split with you. Smoking love.
Yo, hey Duff Free Nation, what's going on? This is Heavy T. Our show, the Heavy T Grow Show, is coming up live, a very special edition. We're going to be talking growing, we're going to have a little bit of fun, some seriousness. Eric from Smart Pots will be joining us, talking about growing your own fruits and veggies in their raised bed system, and also some other things. Of course, with the COVID-19 crisis out there, we're going to talk a little bit about that and hopefully help us all grow through it together, guys. It's Heavy T's Grow Show. Call in 562-653-0707, coming up live in 5 minutes right here on DFZRadio.com.
But I make this shit look easy.
When I'm looking in the mirror, I feel like no one can beat me. I see the suckers geeking. They ask, can you teach me? When I'm looking in the mirror, I feel like no one can beat me. I see the suckers reaching. They ask, can you teach me?
Sunday morning, but bar harder than weight loss. Niggas be acting hard, but hardly. This shit's a cakewalk, straight talk, real spit, real quick takeoff. I'm known for the break off. No, it just take the brakes off and go. You know, solid is my MO, so I always come back full of gas, just like a rental. To them, this shit look hard, but I make it look so simple, never minstrel or ever miss. I make it extra mental, evidently elemental. The avatar on the shallow bar. Caravan of love, hype, love life. Even the battle scars, grab a star and be invincible for 10 seconds. When I pen lessons, yeah, class is in session. Every rhyme a prime cut for the time I'm investing. Every line is lined up so the shine is impressing. Believe me, I'm out of this world just like Evie. I make it sound hard, but I make this shit look easy.
When I'm looking in the mirror, I feel like no one can beat me. I see the suckers geeking. They ask, can you teach me?
Then this shit look hard, but I make this shit look easy. Then this shit look hard, but I make this shit look easy.
When I'm looking in the mirror, I feel like no one can beat me. I see the suckers reaching. They ask, can you teach me?
Then this shit look hard, but I make this shit look easy. Then this shit look hard, but I make this shit look easy.
When I'm looking in the mirror, I feel like no one can beat me. I see the suckers geeking. They ask, can you teach me?
Then this shit look hard, but I make this shit look easy. Then this shit look hard, but I make this shit look easy.
When I'm looking in the mirror, I feel like no one can beat me. I see the suckers reaching. They ask, can you teach me?
Then this shit look hard, but I make this shit look easy. Then this shit look hard, but I make this shit look easy.
DFCRadio.com.
Previously on Heavy T's Grow Show.
Wu-Tang Flu ain't nothing to fuck with.
Wu-Tang Clan ain't nothing to fuck with.
What's going on?
Chillin'. Who am I speaking with? BMC over there? Who else?
Everyone. The Hydro Chef is here. Nosy Nancy is here. Heavy T is here. The same 562 is here.
Yes, sir.
Nice. Thanks for having me. Jeffrey Epstein didn't kill himself. What's up?
Yeah. Allegedly. That's right.
Crazy out
You
here.
gotta fly one way to California, hook up over here, and then drive a rental car home.
Well, we can't give out any advice like that, BMC. Of course, this is for entertainment purposes only. Please give me the disclaimer.
Right.
You got to say it?
Yeah.
You're on it?
Yep, let me just pull it up real quick.
Yeah, you're so fucking on top of shit. I swear to God, man. You would think this was our fucking 550th show, wouldn't you?
I got it, okay? Here it is.
Okay, here's the disclaimer.
People
the
are holding their
portion
fucking
of this
breath.
show is designed as entertainment only for legal medicinal cannabis patients over 21 years of age and is not meant to encourage. Oh, I fucked up on that.
Hey, I'm gonna. Okay, what's going on, man? What's your question?
My question is...
Hold
right,
on,
so
just 1 second, Colby. I'm sorry. Can you stop smacking your goddamn chef gums in the motherfucking microphone?
He's eating cheese.
All the cheese talk got me hungry.
Pistachios on the fucking air, putting this Wuhan coronavirus ass coming from Las Vegas last weekend.
Each one of those shells.
In his mouth. No, hold on. Will you hold on, Colby?
Colby,
This
hold
fool
on.
has his shells on my table, coughing into the mic. Are you using a pH meter?
I'm just using the general hydroponics pH solution.
Okay, since I'm not familiar with
Just the
Megacarb,
test kit?
It's the test strip.
Yeah, it's the fucking water test kit. You
Yeah,
sell
yeah,
it.
yeah.
You the GH rep. You know what it is. Okay, let's move
Yeah.
on now. We don't need to identify everything he says about GH. Fuck, chef.
You said I don't know. We were trying to cover.
Can you just eat some motherfucking pistachios?
Back to eating pistachios. You got it.
Yeah, man. All right, I'm cutting his mic off.
No, I'm not. I'm not eating anything. I'm just talking.
No,
Oh,
Jesus.
God.
We also have a new parody song now. Saint, paint the picture for our listeners. From our boy Upstate Grower, he parodied what now? What is this about?
This is about a caller that calls in. It's a short song. It's
Oh.
only about like a minute long.
Oh, is it for when they call in?
It was like a caller, you know. He's saying he's calling again.
Who is the caller?
His name is Dustin, and he's calling again.
Oh man, he was just on hold. Call back, Dustin.
Man, you know you Mexican. I'm Puerto Rican. I gotta be on your ass. Ain't nothing about that, cuz I gotta be on your ass.
I'm American.
Always.
I'm American.
We both American now.
Mexican American.
Well, usually when I go over and I start defoliating for a customer or consultant, and they're like, "Hey, can you help me? Just show me once." It's gasp and oh my God, are you serious? Oh fuck!
Oh my yield!
I mean that looked like a pretty good ranch.
You just lost me a quarter pound, buddy.
I'm like, dude, if you don't fucking shut the fuck up and let me do this, then I'm not gonna help you.
That was at least an 8th.
You got to go hard on it. All right, this is the most annoying caller. Let's go to him. You ready, Saint?
All right.
Dustin. Hey.
Yeah, what's up?
What's up, Dustin?
What's up?
Dustin, you have listeners sending in songs for you. Did you hear it?
No. What are they?
Let's play it for him right now.
Yeah.
One more time, Dustin.
It's always gonna be Dustin again. Because Dustin's Dustin everyone.
All right, well, what's going on, Jeff?
Jeff?
Oh, you really think you qualify to talk to me?
Probably not.
You really think you qualify to talk to me?
Probably not.
All right, let's see. We'll talk to him later then.
All right.
Well, Jeff, you had a chance to be funny, and once again, you failed. If anyone else wants to be funny,
you're fascinating.
That was fascinating.
So let's take a quick break. 562-6530-707.
That was too much stuff.
I mean, call back if you want.
I hope his weed's better than his comedy.
Right.
I think he was like playing a recording, and it wasn't even him talking. Like,
I don't know.
He was
maybe.
like playing like a movie or something.
Yeah, call in 562-6530-707. DFZRadio.com.
Hands all over my boys.
DFZRadio.com.
Talking about the Heavy T Road Show. Knowing someone better than your show. And everybody knowing this whole show. Yeah. Talking about the Heavy T Road Show.
No, worry about the president. Worry about everything in the motherfucking world today. What is? Welcome to Heavy T's Grow Show. We're in quarantine in the studio because apparently Horty Chris is man down with some unknown virus. Now, it could be of the sexual nature because all the Horty hoes that he be hoeing up with, but he's not answering his phone, so maybe he'll call in later. We're also going to have Hydro Chef. He's calling in remotely to join the conversation tonight. And Dutch Master from the Plug Gaming Show is in the house. He will be talking survival garden. You know, he's not just a gamer. He's a horticulturalist, too. I got some ideas and things I want to ask you about preserving seeds and stuff like that from store-bought veggies. And Eric from Smart Pod's talking about growing your own veggies and fruits this time of year. Is that Devin on line one? All right, thanks. Listen, Duck Free Nation, I don't want to be a bummer and a downer because we are inundated with so much stuff on the news, television, radio, and I really wanted to do a show tonight to bring some normalcy to our fans, to the growers, and really for ourselves too, because it's just got a total different world than it was 2 weeks ago when I last talked to you. That being said, I do want to say one thing or a few things about the COVID-19 crisis that is going on. Guys, take it serious. Even if you're young and good health and you don't think it's going to affect you, think about the effect that it was going to have on the older generation, our parents' generation, our grandparents' generation, and the possibilities that we could lose a lot of those people that helped raise us, were our coaches, were the people putting the Christmas gifts under the tree, planning the birthday parties, spending their last dollar to help make those things happen when we were young and we needed help and we were dependent on someone. So for those people, even if you think you're not going to be affected by it, for those people, listen to what the government's telling you as far as staying inside and trying to slow the spread of this, and hopefully it'll be over quickly. It seems like it's going to be a lot longer than anyone thought about or projected, but if we all work together, we could do it. And as I see, society can go in two directions, right? It can completely fall apart where it's everyone fighting for themselves. The strongest survive, the guys with all the ammo and everything like that we made fun of.
Whoever has the most toilet paper.
Yes, right. They win. But it could go that way where it devolves and it becomes savage, or this can be in a chance to evolve where we care for each other more compassionately, where we look out for each other, look out for your neighbors, your other family members, so forth and so on. And if you are hoarding resources, there's plenty out there now, there is. But if you're hoarding certain resources, especially fresh food, fresh vegetables, that aren't going to stay good. You probably don't even have enough freezer space unless you're in the Midwest with a big meat freezer that you can hoard these things without having some waste. We want to make sure that everyone has plenty. So tonight on Heavy T's Grow Show, we are going to be talking growing your own, both cannabis, both veggies, fruits, all of those good things. And, if you guys have questions about your grow, call in 562-653-0707. I'd love to talk to you tonight. We are still shipping out prizes right now. I don't know if UPS and the post office are going to continue delivering things. That's uncertain every day. I get notices about it daily being a business about the updates, and right now they're still sending packages out, but that very well could change. Also, so with impact on trading possible with raw materials, even if it says it's made in America, to get that stamp, that pretty much is the last place that it was handled or packaged. So you may have made in America nutrients that have salts that come from wherever in the globe.
Some Alibaba salts.
And they may not be able to have that any longer. So there's going to probably be a lot of shoot from the hip hydro guys and questions out there as things become more scarce in the grow shops. And you're going to have to piece together some things, and we could help you do that. Like I said.
Yeah, we were talking earlier, we can use any one of those bottles and it would work. So if
we do. There's a lot of the same shit in different colored bottles, y'all. Yeah. And we will help piece it together for you. So call in 562-653-0707. Across from me, he risked coming into studio. He has had no contact with anyone. He is an introvert. It is Black Market Cultivators.
Hello. Thank you for having me.
So if they lock down LBC, how are you going to water your garden, bro?
We've been thinking dirt bike.
Dirt bike down the riverbed.
Through riverbeds and back roads.
Nice. Can you ride a dirt bike?
Yeah.
I can see you on like 125 cc. Like,
I used to have one and know how to do that.
Hey, am I spitting too much on you? Sorry.
The clutch and all that.
Hey, this is 6 feet. This is social distancing. Look at this.
There it is.
We're all proper.
We are all exactly 6 feet apart. We measured.
Yeah. But we're using the same microphone that
back up a little.
that Negative Nancy was on. Oh no!
I'm constantly just
we
wiping.
keep wiping.
You probably
our
hear
mic
some
down.
unusual noises from the mic. That's just the
Scrubbing.
the wipe down.
Well, at this point, it's only your own germs, Dutch.
Well, we don't know, right?
Yeah, but,
Right?
You never know.
But we got the guy from gaming. Also, he has a horticultural degree. At the end of the table, it's Ace Dutch.
This guy.
Hey, we gotta have some fun.
Yeah, no.
How you feeling though? How's the family feeling? Everyone's good. In good health.
Yeah,
Been in good health.
Everything's good. Yeah, it's like you said. It's real times out there, and you got to pay attention if you want to be on top of this. You got to pay attention. It takes everybody. So that's what we're doing. I got the fam hunkered down, and we're just we planted the garden as soon as this started happening. I was like, hey, this might get real. Go to the store, there ain't no produce. I mean, there was no cabbage.
There's no food.
For St. Patrick's Day, no cabbage?
They bought all the cabbage.
All the potatoes,
right
carrots,
when I saw that. Well, those are popular items.
I got some potatoes today, but I'm planting those.
Right, yeah, exactly. That's what I would suggest, just in case.
Give them a tidbit. If you could actually plant a store-bought potato, what do you do? Do you cut it in half?
Yeah, yep, exactly, yep. Just like.
Do you have to germinate it some way before you plant it?
Nope. Basically, if you section it in, it can be tiny sections, but like quarter it. And there should be a couple eyes. That's what they call them. They're those weird little things that start to grow off your potato once you keep
little nodes.
Yeah, keep it for too long. And that's essentially, the potato is a rhizome. So it itself, that is the root. So you are just going to produce more potatoes off of that root. Once those start to grow, you can basically cut those into sections. So you have a couple of them per section, and then plant that. And there's like mounding techniques. You can plant it into a pot. But basically, you want to get the plant started and then kind of bury the stem a little bit more progressively as the plant grows. And then that will give you a longer area root mass where you can grow more potatoes off of a smaller plant or just one single
How long does it take to be a potato? Or
you can pick,
or how do you
that's
tell
the
if
thing.
it's
You
done?
can pick them. Potatoes actually are probably one of the best things to be growing in the time like this, because you can pick them at different times, different sizes. Because like I said, it's just the root.
They just get bigger.
They're just going to get bigger. They'll max out. But when you get big ones, you can bury those ones and actually preserve them for extremely long periods of time, where they're not going to go bad or do anything, rot or anything like that. And you can start storing these things without using your fridge, without using any electronics or anything like that, and have like a long-term storage of potatoes, other sorts of root growing vegetables as well you could do this with. But potatoes are the easiest to grow. Like your store-bought russet potato will do well in your backyard here, most places, most climates. And then if you get the purple ones or the white ones, those are all the same. You can do the same thing with those. Those are going to grow faster. They're smaller potatoes. You'll get more of them quicker in quicker return. But yeah, I mean, all that type of stuff.
You could also make liquor out of them.
If, hey, let's,
vodka.
The waters, that's another thing, you can do a lot of things with all
historically, like potatoes saved, like the Irish or something or something.
Well, that was their staple of their what they ate, but
they also
died. They died because there was no more potatoes.
Exactly. So diversity in your garden is key as well, especially when you're planting for the long-term survival. This is something we've never had to prepare for.
There's potato bugs. You gotta watch out.
You're gonna want to do the basics.
While we continue talking about this, let's bring up the chef. He's called in. He's hosting from his house. He's chomping at the bit to get on the air. Wait, I put him on hold. Wait, let's do this. Lock him in.
Muted him already.
Talking about
cut his phone off.
Talk about being able to mute a motherfucker tonight. It's the chef. What's up, chef?
What's up, y'all? Hey, look who's not crazy for doing aquaponics in his backyard now.
Yeah, he is. Yeah, that's perfect.
Do you still have that going?
Fuck yeah, fish galore. We're having a fish fry to celebrate the apocalypse.
Oh, that's solid. I know where to come. I'll bring the White Claws. You got the fish.
Didn't Matt Damon grow some potatoes on Mars and shit though?
That's what saved him too.
That's true. True story.
Everyone used to grow potatoes.
Vegetables you can actually poison yourself with too.
Yeah, well, shit. How are you gonna poison yourself with potatoes, dog? You eat too much of them, or is it a timing thing?
Potato poisoning.
I think you got to eat 10 in one day.
Man, Chef, I swear
It's a
you
lot.
are you
It's a
really
lot.
elaborate.
Potato poisoning.
So how does that happen? You eat too many? Eat too like? What's the deal? Potato poisoning.
Oh my gosh,
Hashtag.
Chef always with the great comments. But also planting things like that in your garden, you need to be aware that if your beds have been sitting for a while and you want to go plant in them or start a bed, it's going to be cleaner if you start it. But if you're going to an area or you didn't do a winter crop and you haven't been maintaining it, you're going to want to treat it with something first. I always use Bacillus thuringiensis. I add biochar and compost to my beds, no matter what was in them before. The Bacillus thuringiensis will destroy any nematodes. In our area in Southern California, we're really worried about grubs setting up shop in those things. And what the grubs will do is you'll plant. They're huge maggot-looking
Yeah, they're nasty.
things that will destroy your root zone, destroy your potatoes,
Yeah.
whatever it is. So you treat that with the Bacillus, which is also a caterpillar killer, and that's in your safer caterpillar killer. Monterey has a version. Mosquito dunks or mosquito bites or bits have all the bacteria in it. So sterilize it that way. It's all natural. It's not harmful to you. You start cultivating. I also add some the compost. It gives me a little bit of recharge as nutritional value. It also adds beneficial organisms to my grow. But I also use biochar first and foremost and water that through thoroughly to help break down any heavy metals that are accumulated. It's kind of a reset on your bed. So if you're not practicing crop rotation, and Dutch, maybe you could tell us a little bit of if I'm going to do a crop throughout the year, right?
Yeah.
How am I going to rotate my crops from bed to bed? I'm going to have, let's say I want to grow potatoes, tomatoes, carrots,
corn,
radishes, corn, legumes
Yeah.
like green beans,
So
the common stuff that we grow.
Yeah, you would put the like radish, corn, or not corn, excuse me, carrots, stuff like that in the same beds or in the same area. And then you would section that with like corn. Corn would go by itself because it needs the space and everything, and it really actually depletes the soil rather quickly because it needs everything and large amounts of it. So that's probably the area that you'd focus on where you want to do a crop rotation, and you would want to put like beans in that area. Or if you did tomatoes or something like that, you would want to put like a bean, and then also biochar and stuff like that. What the beans are going to do is they're actually going to fix nitrogen back into the soil, where they actually are producing nitrogen. All legumes do that. They will put nitrogen back into your soil and not be taking it from your soil. So that's going to give you a beneficial recharge in a sense biologically, like a biological recharge. You're going to do your biochar, which is going to give you, like you said, it's going to get heavy metals. It's going to act like a filter. It's also going to provide long-term storage for microorganisms and things to live off of, while also, revitalizing the soil with some micronutrients and things like that. But usually with crop rotation, you're trying to focus on, okay, this thing takes a lot of nitrogen. So next time I plant there, I'm not going to plant something that requires nitrogen or a lot of it. I'm going to plant something that's going to require some more phosphorus or potassium. So you're getting more of a balance rather than just, ruining that one area over and over and then constantly having to add to it. Because, we could do organics and add organics to it and everything, but as we know, that takes time to break down. Like with a legume planted there, you are breaking the soil down further and enriching it also while growing a crop.
Right.
So you're actually achieving, you don't have to lie fallow, which is the resting period you would set between a garden to allow it to recharge naturally.
And for maybe you could, I know and just from growing with my kids, because I have young kids, And I got them into gardening, but you have to have some reward. They have to see it grow quickly and pull it out.
Yeah.
So I always plant radishes because radishes come up so quick and they're ready so quick.
And they can be munchers too. It's something you can enjoy right there.
And I pickle them. I'm the pickle master.
Yeah, exactly.
I make my
but it is something
medley.
like that where you're
Yeah,
like,
we're
hey,
gonna do that again.
Hey, try that.
Shit. After
you
the
know.
apocalypse.
Yeah, there ain't no the pickling's got to be done prior.
I'm saving all the pickle jars this year.
Is vinegar out at the store? If it's
Right,
not out, I'll get
exactly.
some. Give me some white vinegar.
But that's where people, like you were saying, in the Midwest that have these large storage like places or facilities or refrigerators to store food because they have stuff that happens like that with natural disasters. But they're also the ones that are pickling. They're taking their harvest for years and having.
I got a
it stored.
95-year-old grandmother. I'm like, Grandma,
Yeah.
give me some fucking tidbits.
Like before the UPS stops, send the package, the care package.
Like you've been washing off the tinfoil for a while because you surprised the yeah, seriously, you open up her utensil drawer. It's got like fucking plasticware in there that's reused.
Now we're all finding out
she
why.
survived the depression.
Why the old
like,
people are like that. Yeah.
Exactly.
She's like, never know when you're gonna need this.
Right. You know.
50 years from now, you're gonna have a garage of toilet paper.
What about something though,
grandkids are
like,
gonna be
the
"What's that?"
radishes? That if people are like, "Fuck," what's going on at the stores, and worst case scenario that there isn't enough inventory of something, fresh veggies and stuff.
Yeah. Well,
what is something that could grow and fruit really quick this time of year? Would lettuce still be viable during
kale.
the spring?
Yeah.
Kale?
So lettuce is going to be cooler months. Once it gets warm, it does this thing. Well, pretty much everything it's called bolting, where it just rapidly moves into its flowering process. So you're not going to get a lot of vegetation. You're not going to get a lot of what you're seeking when you plant lettuces, kale, stuff like that. Broccoli does the same thing. Radishes will do the same thing. So you do need to either be wise on your selection on the variety of the seeds that you buy, if you can. And if not, then you really need to, plant during the seasons and be prepared. Preparing is the number one thing that you can do, and especially if you are, aiming to be able to provide a good amount of sustenance for you or several people, then you're going to want to have a plan to go about this. So you're going to want to make sure you have your seasons down, what grows good during those lettuces, broccoli, stuff like that. That's going to be early spring when cooler months fall. Where we move into summer, we're talking melons, squash, zucchini, tomatoes, all those bigger things that you'll actually get like some sort of produce from. But kale is universal in a lot of ways, where it's actually a little bit more robust, and I guess it would say it's more pliable to different areas, different soil types. It doesn't really mind anything, and there's so many varieties. You can get like the old large blue leaf dinosaur kale, and it will grow in pretty much any environment. They can be rough if you pick the leaves younger. It's just like any other kale, but the leaf can feel leathery, I guess you'd say, if you let it grow too long. But when you're growing for the apocalypse, then who's going to complain about a leathery leaf?
You know what, guys, we do with Chef being on the panel, and I always forget about him, except I see this big lock thing on there. So I didn't mute you yet, Chef. You're still on. What kind of recipes you got for some kale, dog? Kale and potato recipe. You got something?
For cooking with kale?
Yeah.
Kale and potato recipe.
Yeah, dog. What do you got? Does it involve infusing?
It was just St. Patrick's Day, so here's the thing: you're gonna get some short ribs, you're gonna get some kale, you're gonna get the potatoes, you're gonna roast the short ribs in the oven and deglaze the pan with some red wine. Throw your favorite vegetables you got out of the garden in there. Then from there, you're gonna take that. You're gonna take the kale, you're gonna take the potatoes, and the last hour of cooking, you're gonna throw those in with the braised beef. From there, reduce it, medicate it with the medicated butter to thicken the sauce, a la minute. So easy.
Minute bowl style.
I think we should team up and do a
like
apocalypse, survive the apocalypse cookbook.
I like how he medicated it at the end.
Right, exactly.
Yeah.
Of course, you have to medicate it. In the apocalypse, you have to medicate it.
Man, that sounds bomb. So listen, guys. What I want to know, though, is in all that crop rotation and everything that we're talking about, Dutch, how does cannabis affect the composition of the nutrients in your beds? If we got to grow more plants than ever, and cannabis being at have a known medical.
Well, yeah, I mean that's going to fall.
Benefits.
It's going to fall into your same category with like a tomato. It's going to have we know it has the vegetative process where it takes a lot of nitrogen, requires more of that than anything. So you're going to want to plan for that as well. It's going to be something like the corn or the tomatoes that can go in that same area.
Suck up all
Be
your food.
careful with pollen, though. I wouldn't say corn with too close to cannabis. There has been some weird, odd stories that the pollen will irritate the receptors for the cannabis, and make the plant think that it's going to grow seeds.
Corn is like the weed's duff man.
It will duff out your your weed out.
It's the weed side.
So
definitely.
there's been stories, and I've seen actually seen things where it doesn't pollinate it, but it feels like the process is happening, like something is there and it captures it on its pistil.
So it doesn't resonate.
And it will
stay small.
Yeah, it will stay small, look hayy. It will basically do what the seeds will start. It will change your plant to, hey, we're going to grow seeds now,
seeded,
not buds.
but it's
look seeded,
just
not
skinny
seeded.
buds.
Skinny buds, airy, just not good. And that's not it's not. I think that's more anecdotal than anything.
So keep a separate greenhouse for your cannabis.
Yeah, I would say that's probably best for you anyways, because there's going to be some things bugs-wise that attack your other plants that aren't going to be as detrimental to those plants as it is your cannabis. Caterpillars, like tomato hookworms. Tomatoes attract certain types of worms already. They're very specific to the plants. And, you're not going to want to have your cannabis right next to there where they can, get into your buds. Where they're not going to get inside the tomato.
Mosaic virus or whatever.
That's if you're smoking. No smoking either by the
plants.
No, if you're
with the respiratory illness going away, everyone should quit smoking.
Yeah,
but
if the
everyone stop smoking.
If the apocalypse has got you stressed, no smoking cigarettes or vaping, anything with nicotine in it that will be on your hands. Because if you handle tomato plants, they are extremely sensitive to nicotine, and it will potentially kill them.
Is Avid weed still cool?
For BMC,
dude, if you need to get that harvest player
in the apocalypse, it's priced double right now.
So
all right, cool.
This is what I want to say to BMC and find out what's going on. The new low BMC has the new load skyrocketed. Are we gonna keep the low for the people?
It seems every month.
I talked about keeping the community, keeping the fam.
It just goes up.
If you start fucking buying pounds for $3,200, I'm gonna be pissed.
Yeah, someone DM me if they have anything for $32. I'm looking. I can't find anything.
Damn, that's some bullshit, don't you think, over there, Devin?
BMC.
It's the middle of the apocalypse, and this guy can single-handedly make a meme and fix the prices.
I'm like the mayor of Jaws.
His DM's like the stock market. Just a number shows up in there. That's what it's going for. That's what they're asking. Yeah. That's what it's.
They send me a meme with a number. I approve of the number. Price changes.
He doesn't know if he's going to be able to get to water his plants. So he's got to get it in now, I guess.
Yeah, seriously. If they stop people from watering their plants, the price is going to have to go really high.
Yeah. Well,
Yeah, you're like, these motherfuckers barely survived.
We got here on back roads on dirt bikes. $5,000.
Yeah. Hey guys, we have a grow expert on the line aside from Chef. He is a grow expert, but he's also our chef, and we love him. But Chef, you're gonna stay on with us, but having two callers on, I'm gonna call out your name when I'm asking you guys a question, so the listeners can hear him. Okay. So let's bring up Eric from Smart Pots. Hey Eric, what's going on, brother?
What up, Heavy T? What up, everybody? Wish I could be here under cooler circumstances.
Yeah. Well, we're trying to bring some normalcy to the masses and doing our show. Hopefully the listeners out there appreciate it. I know I appreciate you guys over at Smart Pots. You've done a lot for the cannabis community, the home and garden community, and you hit me up recently and we're like, hey, T, at the store and stuff, I know a certain genre of customers comes in, but you predicted that you're probably going to see a lot of your normal non-cannabis growers coming in looking to grow more of their own and stuff. And we're kind of focusing the show around that tonight. And it was your idea. Great idea, by the way, Eric. I do appreciate you always adding content to our show. But What do you got going on over at Smart Pots to help the masses grow their own veggies and fruits? You got a big bed now.
Well, we've got a a long bed, so it comes in 3 different sizes. It's a 6-foot long, an 8-foot long, and a 12-foot long bed, 18 inches wide and high. So you can grow a lot of produce even in the 6-footer. And just like your regular Smart Pots, they're going to be highly durable. They're going to last through this apocalypse and the next one.
Some levity there. I like it, Eric. I like it. What about people that are planting into these beds? Because I know you're a grower and a gardener yourself. If they can't find some high-quality potting soil or in hotter climates, we really don't want to use a high aerated potting soil. We kind of want a little bit more muddy to keep the moisture in, right? Well, what are you recommending for people to plant with? A mix of their native soil, or what do you think?
You know, definitely I'd say Smart Pots can handle heavier soil better than, a plastic pot or a clay pot, certainly. And I think a premium store-bought soil is going to be your best option, but if that isn't available, yeah, you just got to make do with what you can. So I'd find the heaviest soil, throw in some good compost into the mix, at directed amounts, check the bag, and, you should be able to get a pretty good crop just from some high-quality compost. So if that's all you got to grow with, make do.
Yeah, and with the Smart Pot, we always promote them for the aeration effects. The bed has the exact same thing, right? Same fabric, same breathability. And for those of you that don't know, where you plant in the ground or in a plastic pot, the aeration a Smart Pot allows is the roots need air, and so you can as more oxygen passes through it, root prunes it, so you don't get root bound, so you can grow in a smaller container than you would in a normal plastic container or something. But the plant stays much more healthy. Root rot is pretty much a thing of the past when you're using a Smart Pot, unless you're just overwatering it crazy, like a Duff Man would. But doing all those good things, using the Smart Pot, and listen, you can go get some Smart Pots or an 8-foot bed or something, and if you don't have a backyard to grow your own, put it on your balcony, y'all. Yeah. Put it on your balcony. I don't think your HOA during these times, your homeowners association is going to be yelling at you too much.
I personally have grown, I know I don't want to say every vegetable, but a lot of vegetables of different kinds, root.
I still got that dragon fruit cut you gave me.
In Smart Pots. No, we've seen the most amazing artichoke, like literally the world's winner. I swear, if we knew how to get in a competition,
it pops up every year. Still.
And that's in a Smart Pot, and there's
it's
carrots,
in a 15-gallon. It's in a 15-gallon Smart Pot, and it's a 10-foot artichoke.
Yeah, better than plastic or going out and building like. And the reality of raised beds is, people don't realize that until you do it. They're expensive. To get a nice wood raised bed with the proper size and what you want, it's expensive. One of those bed Smart Pots, like I've seen them before. That's basically a raised bed Smart Pot.
Yeah.
You don't need a truck. Yeah. You don't need labor.
Right.
You just roll it out and grow.
Right. You don't. Yeah.
Now the real nice bed that the Smart Pots guys have come out with, but before that, you've seen in my backyard.
Right.
Dutch, I have between 100 to 300 gallon Smart Pots that are circular beds that I rotate.
I will bring it up again, but literally the world winner artichoke.
That's in its own 50-gallon pot.
The Golden Globe.
Long Beach Hydro has a picture of it.
Artichoke winner. Like this thing is. I swear, if we could get in
a competition,
keeper cut. Yeah, it's a keeper cut. Exactly.
It's a keeper cut.
It's like I gotta go get a cut for sure.
If the state fair happens this year, we'll take in the fruit.
Yeah, if there isn't a contest, can we make one?
It has a dozen heads on it at once. Yeah. It's crazy. It
looked
awesome.
like a purple sunflower. It was insane.
Yeah, it looks amazing.
Is there anything for you, Eric, that you wouldn't grow in there? We were talking about growing your own potatoes and a survival garden basically earlier on. In containers, would you recommend growing potatoes in those things, or not a good idea?
Yeah, 100% potatoes do awesome in Smart Pots. They're easier to kind of maneuver the soil to dig up your spuds as you see fit. But, I'd say grow what you like to eat. If you hate kale, don't grow that shit. You know.
well, no, we brought that up as something that is going to grow quickly, that will give you nutritional value, so you have something right away, rather than waiting for a long veg time than a fruit set where you're 2 months out from having fresh veggies.
Yeah, if you have a choice, grow romaine.
I think Eric hates kale. Why do you hate kale so much, Eric?
What's up, dude?
I don't know. It's just kind of weird.
It is. It's rough. It's tough.
It's prehistoric.
Yeah, it's a tough variety though to
it's
to
good
enjoy
for
like a lettuce or a salad.
Yeah,
it is
juicy.
I'll put like some kale in a salad, but a whole kale salad.
Yeah, you get
too
like
thick.
the center stem part, and you're just like, dude, that was like a branch. Like, what?
Yep. Dude, it is totally the Charlie Sheen of the vegetable leafy green world.
Winning.
And Charlie, Horty Chris is the Charlie Sheen of the Heavy Tea Show.
Winning. Right there it is.
So, Eric, this is what I want the listeners to know, brother, that you guys, Smart Pots, have sent a shit ton of Smart Pots to us to make sure that everyone has their survival garden. We don't have any of the beds to give out. If you want to send some of those down, let the office know. We're willing to get them out and get them in people's hands. But you guys are always looking out for the community, and I really appreciate you taking care of everything in Smart Pots, dude. You obviously you're not traveling as much. What's your plans for the next few weeks?
Well, you know, I'm hitting email hard. I'm hitting social media hard, and honestly, we kind of strayed away from that a little bit. And hey, you know, it brought me on the show, and you know, I think we can do a lot over the phone and the internet without actually going into the stores. But I'm already getting a little stir crazy, to be honest.
You got to make memes.
Yes, I know, and I know they limited or actually said you can't buy ammunition in California anymore. And if anyone knows Eric, he's got plenty. So Eric, I'll trade you some kale for some ammunition here at some point.
Hey, hold on, let me give you my address.
Yeah, give it out over it. No, seriously, man, I really appreciate you calling in. Any last things you want to talk about for the masses about growing their own and stuff?
You know, I would say just in general, get your Smart Pots as soon as you can, because, you know, who knows when you'll be able to. Put this time at home to use, you know, show your kids how to garden, get that garden prepped as soon as possible. Nurseries and hydro stores are in general open right now. Will they be open tomorrow? I don't know.
Are the hydro stores up in Northern California, where they put a curfew and a quarantine in place in San Francisco, are they allowed to open, do you know, or are they shut down right now?
Honestly, I don't know, but I would think, like, to me, a nursery, you know, a traditional nursery, that has to stay open.
It's essential.
I mean, that's like a grocery store to me.
Yeah, it's essential. It has to be. Everyone should be growing their own, and it keeps you sane, too. If you just stay glued to the television or to social media the whole fucking time, you're going to go crazy. You're going to die of a heart attack from the anxiety. All right, then.
And don't watch
100%.
any of the pandemic movies.
I watched Breakout the other night. I was like, look.
There's a.
I'm watching The Purge tonight.
I started wearing gloves down at the shop the next day. I was like, got gloves on.
Yeah, no, there's a internet site that, you know, has movie package. They like pack, you know, all the Avenger movies, all the Marvel movies. They'll do packs. And the new pack that came out was the COVID-19 movie pack, and it's like, oh, you want to stay inside, hang out inside, well, and think about what life would be during the apocalypse?
Here's some zombie movies.
Yeah, here's this list of movies. And you're just like, geez. And it's like the word. It's like Outbreak, Contagion, all those ones. You're just like, man, this is what.
I've seen it.
People are going to be like, oh, yeah, let's watch this.
No,
and
and just,
like, oh, wait.
it feeds into the fear
exactly.
and everything.
Exactly.
This is the time to stay calm. You should be concerned, and you should be taking steps to practice a social distancing they recommend, all of those things. And as I said in the early part of the show, it's maybe that you're fine, you're healthy, you're young, but for the at-risk groups, the older people that may not be able to survive an infection or something, those are the people that we got to be thinking about. It's not about you not being able to play a pickup game of basketball with your buddies. It's about your grandmother that used to change your diaper and wipe your ass,
or somebody else's
give a fuck,
or somebody else's grandmother.
Exactly.
And that's what's important. Like you're saying, I think that people kind of miss that. It might need to be stressed a little bit, but I think people miss that it's not you that are necessarily at risk. You might get it and be okay, but somebody who's not in your situation, who might have a compromised immune system, who's close to your age.
We deal with a lot of people that grow their own medicine, cannabis, have struggled with a lot of things, a lot of HIV patients, a lot of cancer patients, those type of things. And those are the people that are in this community. Everyone knows someone that cannabis has helped medically pretty much, especially with the advancement in medical cannabis throughout the states, all over in legislation and stuff. Once again, Eric, I want to thank you so much for taking part in the show, brother. And you want to give your social media handles where people could reach out to you if they have any questions about using smart pots or about growing in general?
Yeah, and first of all, I want to thank you guys for doing what you do and for the topic of the show. Great timing. On Instagram, you can reach me at eric.smartpots, or if you even want to shoot me an email, it's Eric, ERIC, @smartpots.com. I'm happy to help.
Yep, and we're going to get those smart pots out to our listeners. We're going to help them grow the best cannabis they can, the most fruits and veggies they can. We're going to grow through this together, Eric. I really appreciate you taking part in the show tonight, and you stay safe and healthy, brother.
Same to you guys. Good to talk to y'all.
All right. 562-653-0707, y'all. Let's talk growing a little bit more. Get this party started up here. I got to pay the bill, so we're going to play some of these well, I don't know if anyone will be paying their bills right now, but we'll play their commercials anyways right here on Heavy T's Grow Show, DMZRadio.com.
It's no, nay. Lost in my mind, gonna roll another blunt. Oh, I'ma need a fuck. Hi, this world's crazy, world's crazy. This world is crazy, world's crazy. Lost in my mind, gonna roll another blunt. Oh, I'ma need a fuck. Hi, this world is crazy, world is crazy. This world is crazy, world is crazy. I done died 2 times that I can count. I swear to God, you don't know about a mouse. Flipping the brick, there's a whole thing. White bitch on cocaine, breast skinny like lo mein, but she take that whole thing. Yeah, this is shit that I love. In this crazy world with all of the above. A freaky girl roll up and take dick. Leave my ass alone, I don't really need shit. Back to the block where I'm feeling all the keys. Yeah, Alicia on the knees, and I promise that I'm with it, and I promise that she is. If you run up on your ass, leave something in your wheel. Lost in my mind, gonna roll another blunt. Oh, I'ma need a fuck. Hi, this world's crazy, world's crazy. This world is crazy, world's crazy. Lost in my mind, gonna roll another blunt. Oh, I'ma need a fuck. Hi, this world is crazy, world is crazy. This world is crazy, world is crazy. I'm a king, I'm the man. That's my queen, she a 12 out of 10. Lick my fingers from the oil of the pan. I eat rich, eat steak, fuck spam. Came from a city where I swear they don't know me. Book me for a show and I swear y'all gon' owe me. Texting on your ass and I spend it on my strippers. Then I shit a wealth for my niggas. Lost in my mind, gonna roll another blunt. Oh, I'ma need a fuck. Hi, this world's crazy, world's crazy. This world is crazy, world's crazy. Lost in my mind, gonna roll another blunt. Oh, I'ma need a fuck. Hi, this world is crazy, world is crazy. This world is crazy, world is crazy.
DFZRadio.com.
Hey man, your garden smells amazing this year. What are you doing different?
Haven't you heard? We've been using the Turpinator.
Did you say Turpinator like terpenes?
Yes, exactly. Turpinator is designed to increase your plant's terpenes, which are responsible for everything from how your plants smell to how much flavorful oils they produce. Basically, Turpinator is the one-stop shop for an overall quality increase for your fruits and flowers.
That's awesome. You know, I can tell the Turpinator has not only increased the oils in all your herbs and flowers, but it looks like it's going to increase your dry weight as well. And dude, don't even get me started on those crystals. They look like mini icebergs.
Well, you better hurry up and get on board. It's flowering season right now. And since Turpinator is made right here in Sonoma County, you can literally find it in any hydro store in town. Boost your plant's oils and bring out flavors that will drive your friends wild. Turpinator. Sticky is an understatement.
The cannabis portion of this show is designed as entertainment only for legal medicinal cannabis patients over 21 years of age and is not meant to encourage any other activity or use. Yeah, Dick.
Hey, I'm in the zone. Dude, this shit is
Big cities need a fast-paced life to grow. And in my fast-paced garden, I use the Big City Hydro Mix. It's available in bulk anywhere in California, organic certified, and made with calcium buffered cocoa. With a consistent pH, it works well with all container gardens and conventional feeding programs. Check with your local grow store for bags.
Check us out at bulksoil.com.
That's Horty's Pimpin' 101. Coming to grips with measuring pH is a fundamental part of ensuring a successful crop. Of course, having the right nutrient mix is important, but without a slightly acidic pH level, plants won't receive optimal benefits from the nutrients supplied. Blue Lab has a range of pH measurement tools available to help both the commercial and small-scale growers. These include the Blue Lab Guardian Monitor, the Blue Lab Combo Meter, the Blue Lab pH Meter, the Blue Lab pH Pen, and the Blue Lab Soil pH Meter. For more information, visit us online at getbluelab.com.
So you're big time, huh?
Yeah, kinda.
Dr. Duffman here. Wanted to talk to you about what I wish I had in my garden. And that, my friends, is a Nanolux double-ended fixture, which is leading the industry as I speak in double-ended technology. I will no longer need 10 150-watt lights to cover my 5x5 area. With just one double-ended fixture from Nanolux, I can cover that area. Also, no more need for that pesky Richter timer of mine that goes off at all kinds of random hours. With Nanolux's fixture, it comes NCCS ready, meaning I can control it on my computer. So if you're like me and your lighting situation sucks, then upgrade to Nanolux's double-ended fixtures today, and don't be a duff man. For more information on Nanolux, check them out at nanoluxtech.com. That's NANOLUXTECH.com.
You are listening to the Heavy Tea Grow Show. Call in right now, 562-653-0707, for your chance to talk to Heavy Tea, Horty Chris, or Dr. Duffman. Killing it.
Dilly Heavy Tea Grow Show. But dilly dee.
Hey, are you all right?
I don't know, man. I am freaking out. I think I'm having a bad trip, bro.
A bad trip? Things look fine to me. Looks like you just transplanted your girls into some happy hippie garden mix from Sanctuary Soils.
So I'm not freaking out?
Oh, you're freaking out all right, and I would be too. That's no ordinary potting soil you've got there. That's a premium organic blend that includes composted forest material, peat moss, perlite, pumice, lava rock, some of the best worm castings available, humic shale ore, dolomite lime, azomite, soy meal, and gypsum.
That's a lot of stuff. Did you just read all that? You just blew my mind, man.
It's a lot of good stuff that you can only find in an organic, natural mix like Happy Hippie.
So what you're saying is, with Happy Hippie Garden Mix, I shouldn't panic because it's organic?
Yeah, I don't think I've ever said that, and you shouldn't either. Although I guess you aren't wrong. Here's the deal. You aren't having a bad trip, bro. This is all great news. You're providing your plants with everything they need to get off to an incredible start.
So I can't taste colors then?
No. But you will taste and see the difference in your fruits and flowers now that you're using Happy Hippie Garden Mix from Sanctuary Soil. For more information, you should check out bulksoil.com.
DFCRadio.com.
cause I just got a fresh coat. California raised me, an LA baby, the Chevrolet raisin, scraping on Dayton's, riding down Rosecrans, get with the program, call me the drill man, the hydros potens, got your eyes low, lower than the ocean, just west coasting through the coast, with the potion, and the best dro to smoke, the baddest bitches, girls in bikinis with ass and titties, the hustle game easy, you just can't believe till you see me on TV. Drive down the wrong street, might see the tech smoke. Hop in the ride and let's go to the West Coast. This life is like a movie. You meet a model bitch, then you fuck her like a groupie. California, 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 yeah, the county of LA. California, Compton, California, yeah, the city where I was raised. Second son to Eazy-E, so don't be amazed. Same nigga, same flow, same mind frame. I'm all about the Lucci. Fuck minimum wage, cruising through these Cali streets, smoking on this OG. Cash rules everything around me, I need more cream. West Coast, get it in. What the fuck you think? Saying I'm riding with you, really though, this money in the bank. E3 hotter than the California forecast, burning up these tracks, nigga, I need more cash. Yeah, I'm a bona fide hustler. Fuck with my family or cash and I'ma cut ya. Real G's get it, that's only the obvious. Go against us, you know you facing the consequence. I love my state, but I really hate the politics. Better keep stepping, buddy boy, in a pile of shit. Yeah, in a pile of shit. E3, get it in, nigga, I'm live as shit. 3, 2, 1. California, yeah, the county of LA. California, California, California. What else can I say? California, A, in the county of LA. Just me and Mary J. As the world keeps spinning, like gold 100 spokes, engine running, Chevy gunning down the coast. Just let it roll. Who doesn't love to see a 6-4 hop down the block, banging Eazy-E and Pac? Motherfuck the cops. I drove in my ride, but I ain't even tripping. It's another summer night and I'm about to get the dipping. It's California, A, got some beautiful women. Gotta see it for yourself, it's such a beautiful vision. Palm trees, palm weed, won't you ride with me? West Coast in, floating through these Cali streets, cruising down the boulevard in the late night. Sunset to the daylight, we take flight. Lights, camera, action, fast cars and jewelry, models and groupies, we film in a movie. It's a motion picture, everybody's a celebrity. Won't you take a picture? It's a motion picture, everybody's a celebrity. Won't you take a picture? Latin girls, Asians, black girls, Jamaicans, white girls, they all on vacation. Pop another bottle, yeah, we buy 'em by the case, and we spitting big faces. California, 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 yeah, the county of LA. California, California,
What up, Dr. Duffman here, Long Beach, Maximum Yield Indoor Gardening Expo. I just ran into Method 7 and Jonan. That's right, Jonan, right?
Jonah, like in the
Jonah. God damn, I'm bad with names.
That's okay.
And
Happens
reading.
all the time. You can call me by any biblical name and I'll pretty much answer to it. Jonah, Noah, just whatever.
Well, cool. Well, check it out. Method 7. If Anybody that's listening out there, you don't know about Method 7, Jonah, why don't you go ahead and tell them about Method 7?
Method 7 is a brand new entrant into the indoor gardening market, and we are pretty much introducing protective eyewear for the indoor gardener. Eyewear that's designed to totally protect the gardener from all the UV and IR that occurs within the garden, but also color correcting all the HID light sources to make sure that people who are working in that environment are seeing true color and totally protect her from the UV and protect her from the strobe effect of all those HID bulbs.
Wow, that's crazy. So if you go into gardening, indoor gardening, if you're in that room a lot, these things are a must, wouldn't you say?
Well, I mean, it's shocking to us that, obviously a lot of the technology used in this industry, that is being exhibited in this room today, is, its roots are, 35, 40 years old. But the reality is this industry is totally in its infancy, and it's just shocking to us how many long-time passionate gardeners we talk to who are basically blind. So we're really psyched that we have a really, really good option that we can offer to all these people to keep those degenerative effects of UV on the retina, and allow gardeners a much more pleasant experience working under an HID light source.
What's cool about it, though, is that it brings out the natural colors of your garden. When you put these glasses on, you actually see the greens, the yellows if you have them, or the purples, or whatever the hell you got going on in your garden. Brings out the true colors under those high-pressure sodium bulbs, and that in itself is huge, besides protecting your eyes. Is there anything else about these glasses we should know? What kind of price point is it with these glasses?
I'll jump in here. My name's James. The price point's about $150, $189. We have a new entry as well for $100. The difference being some of the product is a glass product. It's all glass that's melted in Germany, and the frames are all made in Italy. And the glass has a very good specific density to it, so it almost absorbs the heat that the lights give off. So when you're spending hours under the lights, you'll actually feel a cooling on the eyes. So not only are we giving you protection, and as you mentioned, the color. Color is really critical. Your brain needs to see blue in a grow room in order to focus properly and see depth of field and motion. And without that blue, your brain is struggling and compensating, and it's kind of like being in a long car ride where you're just sitting there, you're not doing very much, but you get out of the car and you're really fatigued. It's because your brain is making millions of decisions every second as you drive. In the grow room, it's similar. You're under the lights. It seems like it should be a fairly simple, straightforward, pleasant environment, but your brain is working really hard to interpret color and deal with the stress of that environment. Our glasses completely neutralize that, balance the color, let you relax, enjoy the experience, and spot things that you wouldn't normally see. And we find most people put these on, they walk into their garden, and they're seeing their plants like they've never seen them before, noticing good and bad things.
That's huge, man, because, a lot of people miss stuff without having those glasses. And the fact that it actually relaxes your eyes, lets you be totally relaxed to go in your garden and do the gardening is huge, because I know a lot of people come out, they can't see right, they got this circle in their eyes or this blind spot they can't really see well, and it's really stressful for people to go in those gardens and be in a situation like that if you're in there for more than an hour. It's just not right. So make sure you go check out Method 7. James told you just now what it's all about. So did Noah, or Jonah, or Noah. Jonah, actually. I'm just a dick. Sorry there, Jonah, man. I'm just being real.
Biblical name is cool.
That's why I used it.
Just fine.
DFCRadio.com.
Well, we ain't playing Riding in Our Ride 25 times tonight?
That's coming up next. Stay tuned.
It should be all. Don't ride in your ride.
Hand sanitizer in my ride.
What was the parody song that we were working on yesterday or this weekend? Do you remember? On Monday?
I forgot.
It was awesome, though. We got to write these ideas down. Fuck. You remember that time I was super cool? No, me either. Oh, yeah, guys. Crazy times. But we're here to help you grow. Hopefully everyone's growing their own fruits and veggies like we talked about, but also your own weed. I mean, weed is a natural medicine, can be turned into so many different things. anti-inflammatories, different, what's the word, homeopathic remedies.
Yep.
And certain stuff. And, Dutch, you have a lot of input on that, too. We might go down that road after we get a call. But we have the Wook Chad in the street. He's out there holding it down for DFC. Wookie Chad. What up, Wook? How you doing? Your trim jobs are severely limited right now.
I am on my last leg, brother. I just gotta tell you, I'm sitting in the parking lot at Costco right now, bro.
Waiting to jack a roll of toilet paper from an old lady?
I went to go pick up a gallon of patchouli oil, and the vibes down here are not chill, bro. Not chill at all.
No chill vibes at Costco?
Brett, you think out of all the things, a gallon of patchouli oil would not be that hard to access?
I would think so. Yeah, patchouli oil is god-awful. I cannot stand the smell of it.
So I had my Wook quarantine list. I had it all ready to go. I was heading on down there with my broad Sheila and my homie Kyle, and needless to say, shit hit the fan. I did pick up some ammo. I don't have a gun, but I was going to trade it for things like crystals and beads and shit when the apocalypse comes.
Ammo's good barter.
And then I needed the patchouli oil because obviously it's an inoculant for the whole Wook flu 2020. I don't know if you know this, but
I don't.
It's just a regular Wook flu. There's nothing special about this virus. Every Chad's had it.
The Trimmigrants and the Wooks have been spreading COVID-19 in the inner circles of NorCal for a while.
Brett, this isn't even an epidemic. This is an everyday thing in our tent city.
Oh, you should have seen the syphilis outbreak of 2008 in the Wook community.
What is the Wook here?
So, I'm gonna trade ammo for things, and then I bought a birdhouse too because birds need a place to quarantine, and I called the hardware store and they wanted me to pay for the nails, and I was like, dude, can I just rent some nails? What's the problem with renting nails?
Yeah, bro.
Evidently, that's just bad vibes, bro. Bad vibes.
What was your discount on that?
They wouldn't do it, bro. So no birdhouse, no quarantine for my birds. And, dude, it's just bad vibes all around. My dog's a wreck. She's in total fucking panic. My dog ate my cat. And I think that was before we had, all the snacks even. So,
at least it didn't eat your toilet paper. That would have been your whole life savings.
We cut my lady's dreads so that we would have toilet paper.
Reusable. And tampons.
So, and Kyle cussed out his dad, and he closed his bank account now, and we're pretty fucked.
Well, BMC had a question for you.
Yeah, what's the Wook remedy for the Wook flu? Do you guys just drink Sprite, or what is it?
Everybody knows it's 3 milliliters of Eagle 20 with a little patchouli oil.
A little patchouli oil and the blood of the head spider mite.
Yeah, bro. Thrips, spider mite, it's interchangeable, bro. It's just how quick you want to get over this Wook flu.
Yeah, and everyone.
That's your Wook. I'm your Wook on the street, bro. I got you.
All right, brother. Keep that population of spider mites and thrips on your grow jacket over there, so you have plenty of protein to eat in case they run out of stuff at Costco.
Now, do you guys deliver nutrients, bro?
Yeah, actually, Long Beach Hydro will be delivering stuff, and we also have curbside pickup, which I'll talk more about later on, but not all the way to NorCal, bro. It's only within the local area.
Can you test me for coronavirus when I come pick up my newts?
No, but I'll bring you a 6-pack of Corona from the liquor store next door. They have it in abundance.
Oh, bro.
You want me to check the expiration date on that?
Namaste, bro. Namaste. Good vibes, bro.
Namaste to you, too. All right, brothers. Thanks for calling in, Chad the Wook. Now, we actually have a real caller that wants to call in. That was a real caller, but he might have been Chef playing the Wook.
Well, he calls in. He calls in.
Oh, I love the Wookiness. 562-653-0707. Don't forget, we got Smart Pods. We've got Terpinator and Perpinator just got in. We'll be sending it out or for pickup in the local area in Long Beach at Long Beach Hydro. That is our local hydro store, the hydro store that we fuck with over here. Let's go to Brandon. He's got a question about clones. Brandon, how you feeling, dog?
Feeling all right. How about you?
You know, trying to do our thing, trying to overgrow the world, grow through this fucking bullshit together. Tell me, what's your question?
So, I don't necessarily keep moms. Is there a benefit to like keeping a mother plant as opposed to like taking clones off of a plant before I flower every time?
It's the same.
When they lose vigor over time like that?
It's the same genetic copy to some people, and then other people got to say that it loses genetics every time. You just got to try it and find out. The consensus is if you keep a big mom and always take cuts off that mom, every time you take a cut off that mom, then those cuts are the same, so they're always good. If you start growing those cuts out and then take cuts off of those, potentially it could get worse and worse and worse. That's the way I do it, and I do see the strains sometimes peter off, but it takes a long time. Like I would say, we got the coronavirus. I would say like 10 years is when I'll notice, oh man, this plant's not as good as it used to be. Like the LA Con,
10 years.
the Gorilla Glue.
Said 10 years. You haven't kept the strain for 10 years.
I kept the LA Con 10 years.
All your moms get infested with mites.
I kept the Gorilla Glue like 8
keep
years.
a plant for about 10 years.
It takes forever.
In a 1 gallon plastic pot.
You know,
in my solo cup.
What I'm saying,
Solo cup challenge.
I had it 10 years in a solo cup.
It's like, how many plants could you have done that with?
But it takes forever.
Right.
How old are you?
No, I agree with what you're saying. The genetic drift will happen over time, regardless how you're taking your cuts.
Whether you do it off a big mom
that
or
big mom, it would take probably about that same time. Somebody would notice that in about 3 to 5 years, they would start noticing something. Maybe at like a 10-year mark, you'd be like, okay, it's spent.
Yep,
I'm done with it. It's not doing what it used to.
I'd say it loses like 10% a year.
And that goes the truth if like the plant's stressed out as well.
Yep.
And you take cuts off that stressed out plant.
That accelerates it.
You have to think, right?
No,
exactly.
Just all bad.
That's
all
having
the cuts
some,
are all
right.
ugly.
So you keeping a mom could be a way that you keep one healthier plant, and then it produces healthy clones throughout, and you're not worried about like, oh, at that point in my grow when I took those cuts before I flipped, were those plants healthy or were they stressed? And is that pat being passed along?
I'm sure we've all had that tray of cuts where it's like, oh man, I don't know if these ones are going to make it. They're all yellow and they all look like crap. Oh, at least 7 made it. Well, out of those 7, that's where you're picking your new mom, and that was like a stressed out tray.
Right.
So the mom lost some vigor right there.
Right.
Like that's what happens.
And that's exactly right. As long as you keep the right conditions, you can take it from your vegetative growth. But I'll tell you, that's a lot bigger sample area. So let's say that you didn't identify which ones came from which plant. You just knew it was all hash bar OG. And you had 20 plants, and you're like, I'm going to fill up 2 trays of 98 sheets off of these plants. Don't really care which one it came from. And you flip them, and a couple are showing signs that they're not the healthiest, but you took clones from them. And you don't know which clones are which it came from. You're going to take those symptoms along with you. And down the line, that starts multiplying. Because let's say that you took 6 plants off a sicker mom, but you don't know which ones they are. Those potentially could be your stock next time. So one mother could be a distributor of that symptom. So
what I usually do is I'll dedicate a whole plant to clones. Like when I take clones, if I want a flower 2, and I'll take 3 and veg them all out, and then one of those plants I'll just cut all the tops and the healthiest branches and use those as my cuts for the next round.
Well, that's a good idea. Now, that's true as well. And Dutch Master, you tell me if this is true, or BMC for you. But I've noticed plants that lose their vigor typically don't root as quick. So I'll tell you, the plant might look healthy in veg. I take my cuts. I'm doing the same thing like you're doing. I have limited amount of space in my veg. I can't keep a bunch of moms, and I want to keep this genetic going, right? So when I take the cuts down, someone's going crazy outside the studio. Watch out. Get Betsy and her babies, bro.
Everybody
get
chill.
the 12 gauge out. Bird shot, buckshot.
Exactly.
No waters in here, just White Claw. Just White Claw and CRC dabs, nothing you want. Where was I? So the typically the clones that take longer to root will be those ones that exhibit a genetic drift.
Yeah.
So to limit you infecting your garden with drift, the ones that don't root always take twice as many plants as you're gonna want, and take those. If you need 36 plants, the first 36 that root, take those, and you're gonna limit redistributing that drift in your garden. I've grown plants for a real long time.
Yeah.
Same strains with minimal drift. I've had plants that, New York Sour Diesel is one that I grew that it seemed to drift real quick. It did not handle adversity at all, and it affected the overall vigor of it.
I've been a sucker to that, though, where I've grown one strain and was like, okay, these things are rooting out, and everything's being transplanted in 2 weeks or so.
Right.
And then, I stick with that plant for so long because I know it does well, all these things about it, and then I get something new, and I'm seeing roots at 8 days, and I'm like, okay, well,
this new stuff's rooting a lot better.
Yeah, exactly. I was like, okay, something's up, something's going on because I've been doing that one for so long that I forget that at one point it was like that, and then I've just became comfortable with it because it's my strain
where
it's my
sections
favorite.
of the tray. Like the ends of the tray will root where the vents are close quicker than the ones in the middle, and you're like, "Ooh, what is going on here?"
Yeah, but I've done that where I've actually I've kind of played myself just being comfortable with that and saying, "Okay, that's always it's 2 weeks. It's 2 weeks. That's where I'm good with that. Whatever." And then you grow something new or you get a new genetic, and you're like, "Damn, this thing's it roots faster. It looks better." You're like, "Damn, is it me?" Or and then you realize, that genetic's getting tired. You've
I got
you took a bad stock.
GG4 cut right now that is, it's the first time I've cloned it, but it's a cutting.
He's got the Gorilla Glue
taken way longer. It's taken way longer to.
Because that cut's already old.
From seed.
You got to sit down. You got to. He said that cut's already old, probably
it's the original one. So
there are opportunities and videos out there by Bill Graham. I forget we've talked about it all the time.
Right.
Tissue culture that can reestablish the DNA. For the ones that you really want to keep, sterility in that is key. But at the end of the day, man, grow your favorite strandivars as long as you can. Keep them as healthy as possible. Keep bugs and mildew away. Don't let your plants dehydrate on the reg. A lot of people mismanage their mothers or their veg garden because they grow so quick and their needs change a lot quicker than your bloom area. Where a little clone that you just transplanted, if it's in soil or cocoa, you might water it once and come back 3 days later and it's still wet. But as that thing grows and starts using that water, you may have to water every day. Twice a day.
Right.
But, if you're just like me or Wookie Chad on the street and you're just like, damn, I got to go out into, I popped the door open, looked, everything looks groovy, and I go sit down and play some Xbox. Yeah, what are you smoking on, by the way? Over there. I hear you ripping a player. What you got?
Who, me?
Yeah.
I got some peyote cookies and some Bruce Banner.
All right, just no Pookie, okay? But you need to be in there every day and as attentive to your veg garden. Make sure it stays clean, pest free, and also don't let it overgrow each other. Dutch was talking about things that interact together where it's competitive, where plants give off pheromones and stuff, where they know and will try and take over other plants that are battling for the resources, the light, the nutrients, all of that. Yeah. You have to keep them separate to keep them healthy. And I notice a lot of the time where you see a dramatic genetic drift, people have them crammed into too small of an area, Dutch.
Yeah, right. That's a stressful situation for plants when they're crowded. If they feel crowded, literally one will start to do better than the others, and it will literally overtake.
And you can usually see that stress exhibited by pre-flowering too.
Pre-flowering, shorter, the leaves branches will start to stay closer to the main stem. They won't go out as much to capture more light. They'll stay tighter. They're going to start using less energy on building that type of stuff to get height, root mass, things like that. It's actually the same process that happens when people add some of the secret ingredients like the Paclo and stuff. It's like the
Who
same,
would do that?
It's the same response
Fancy.
that's being triggered.
Whoever it is immoral.
Or the
Whoever's
plant
outside digging through the trash can right now.
It stunts itself and goes into like a energy savers mode, and then it has like this boost of growth, so it can outgrow its competition. And
Yep. And if you don't have more room and you need the same number of plants, practice pruning. Pruning is super healthy for plants, and it stimulates new growth both above and below the soil line. You take off leaves and stuff, the plant has to grow. It will shoot out new roots below the soil line as well. You can increase or decrease your veg time, increase your plant size by pruning and training the correct way. Anyways, Brandon, dude, I appreciate the call. I hope that you stay happy, stay healthy, stay safe. I'm going to send you some of those smart pots that they gave out. I'm also going to send you some Turpinator and Purpinator. We'll get that out tomorrow for you. With the delay in shipping and stuff or what might happen, I also know that you've called in before, so we'll get all your prizes out tomorrow. I really appreciate you calling in tonight, and like I said, stay healthy, man. We'll grow through it together.
You too. All right. Good talking to you.
All right, smoke weed every day. No pookie. No pookie, sucker.
I was gonna say that with like sometimes when I have like a tie or genetic where I feel like my clones aren't doing as well, I'll change the diet for the plants so there's not as much nitrogen, like a bloom fertilizer, and that seems to kind of help because that's what the roots building blocks.
Yeah, they want those phosphorus, right?
Yeah, and potassium, and that kind of helps with it to prepare it. Some companies make products that do that for you. Can do that for you.
That's a great point. Also, if you have an issue where it became dehydrated, the plants limp basically, right? It looks like it doesn't have water. Water is the plant is like a big what's the word for it? Like
hydraulic.
A hydraulic.
That's what I.
And the water is a fluid in it. That's exactly right, and that's what keeps it taut. When it dehydrates, that falls apart. That's where your plant goes limp. It looks like
literally there's like an air gap, like it's like an air gap in your brake line or something like that. It's gonna go
pumping that water out.
It's like the plant representation of the Farm to Table Cannabis Show. But what I would like to do is rehydrate at that point because the root zone will dehydrate as well, and the root zone will die quicker because it's more fragile than the above soil line.
Yeah,
I come through with an enzyme like a SLF 100 that you can get from Hort Rep Group. Yep. Something along those lines that I will water, and that will break down the dead or dying root mass, stimulate new root growth, and also if the plant's not taken up because of the root zone's damaged, it will break down heavy metals that may be starting to accumulate near it. And I don't use enzymes each and every watering. I plant with mycorrhizae.
Yeah.
Mycorrhizae, they will generate enzymes though just in relationship with the root zone.
Right.
But a blast of enzymes in that case after I rehydrate. It's very important, listeners, that you rehydrate. If a plant's dehydrated, it needs water more than anything. You don't come be like, oh shit, I better water with my ferts.
Yeah.
No.
That's like
a compost tea at the most.
I've done that. I've learned the hard way.
It's like hydrating with Pepsi
on a hydro system back in the day, and it literally was like, I was shocked. I was like, "What the? How did this?" I had to.
Everything was.
I didn't know how I did it. Yeah. Oh, instantly, like within hours, I was like, "Cool." I saved them. They came back. They're like perked up again. And I came back like an hour and a half later, and these things were just like scorched. And I was like, how did this happen that quick? Like, what did I do? And I put straight fertilizer, like, the feed that I was feeding the same week before, without basically giving them a buffer of just straight water. And those salts just went straight through the roots, fried the roots. The roots were like
dead.
Yeah, they were limp, like already like root rot kicked in. The plants on top were just scorched and burning. Like it was done. They were done. They were yellowing and everything within a couple hours. It probably was like realistically, it was probably about.
Chad would have told you to use the patchouli oil.
It was about 4 or 5 hours, in one of those like channel aero systems.
Yeah, aeroponics.
It was.
Everything
so
happens quick and hydro.
And I quit aeroponics, and I was like started telling people. It's just not.
I think that's when you started working at the shop.
It's not practical.
You're like, hey, I need money. I just burned my harvest.
It's not practical.
You got hours.
Like, don't grow. Like, hydro is great, but like aeroponics, it was like the idea is great and everything behind it, but then you start doing it and you're like, man, like
it works awesome. It's more laborious. People think it's going to be easier. There's more things to think about, and the plant growth, everything happens quick. Plant growth, good stuff, but the bad shit happens quick.
But the way I looked at it is like I was speeding up my veg, and then the flower was still just about the same, and then really realizing like, you're cutting 10 days, but you're like.
That's when you open your reservoir and it's steaming. You're like, is this good?
But you're like literally have to be like so attentive. Things are happening. Things are drying out. Something's getting clogged. The root mass is like 30 feet long, literally, and like going into other parts of the pump and shit. You're just like.
That's always the problem with hydro too. Is like your roots are advantageously going wherever they want.
Wherever the
root
stream
growth
goes.
isn't bad.
It's not bad until it gets into your pump, literally, and shuts it down.
Clogging your drain or whatever.
Yeah. But this is why we recommend people that are just starting to go with soil, be a dirtbagger, be a caveman, right?
Yeah, I mean, even
and
cocoa.
if you want to try hydroponic method, use cocoa because it's more forgiving.
Yeah, that's where my happy place is cocoa because I get
growth rates you want as well as the ease of use.
Yeah.
I mean, you can leave instructions for your Adam Sandler, your water boy.
Yeah, I think
and he'll be able to water on your vacation to Maui.
I think
once
about
the airlines reopen.
I think about hydro, and when I think about it, it's not aeroponic systems and doing all these things. It's like creating your own diet. That's what I think about with hydro. Me having that little bit of control. So I like to take that away from it with cocoa. That, like you said, it gives you that traditional feel of how you're watering it, I should say. Because you're feeding it like it's hydroponics. So.
Yep. So listen, DFZ Nation, we have wide open phone lines you can get through right now. I know a lot of times you call in. It's busy. But call in if you want. We'd love to help you with your grow. If you got something on your chest, if you're feeling stressed about the current situation, call in, talk to us. We're your friendly hydro and cocoa ninja growers over here. So 562-653-0707. We do have stuff to give out. We have Mission Fertilizer. We have Smart Pots. We have a Blue Lab meter to give out. Terpinator and Perpinator fully stocked, in stock. And, we're doing it. Get your survival cannabis garden on with the Heavy T Grow Show. DFZradio.com. In my ride. Right. Listen to DFZ Radio in my ride. In my ride on the app, download the app.
Remember, you could just ride in your ride.
Hey, you can like cruise up to the gas station. Remember when you buy your own gas?
When I hit my destination, I need some drinks to sit and keep on going, and I'm not going home. Papa was a rolling stone, traveling down this lonely road. Never know where he's gonna go, but I'm so ready though. Calm like the calm before the storm. Life's a metaphor, can't ignore what's in store. Mechanic doors opening, I'm focusing, I'm hoping. All I hope is everything that I've been working for, everything I've been hurting for, like the hunger that you can't ignore. It's right there and you can't afford to let it go. I'm just waiting.
Symphonies tuned to a level volume. Windows cracked to feel the chilly breeze of the spirits calling. Night lights crawling, ricocheting off the water. Vision in the rear mirror, plus I'm watching what's before me. 360 peripherals keep us in the middle, like hubcaps rolling through instrumentals. It's the minimal, Millennium Falcon, master movement, middle dimensional. Metamorphosis minerals, laser, DeLorean missiles. Megatron reassemble, coming together in the car with more symbols. Brazilian, African, and Castaneda. Say the math for later, for now just enjoy the flavor. Golden, Babodi, and Kwani aside, I forget the label. Japanese tires around American rims on a European car. Beautiful, but so bizarre. And it's all on top of a black top. Riding through space, light speed, time still at a racer's pace. The final race.
DFCRadio.com.
Hey, man, started early, huh?
Hey, Dr. Duff, are you signing up for another one of those internet dating sites after your divorce?
Nah, I'm just ordering these freaking douchebags from China here. Just gonna be saving a lot of money on it. About $1 a bag.
Did you say douchebags?
Yeah, they're pots. They're fabric pots. They're, made in China. They save $1 a bag from all the other...
Oh, it sounds like an imitation smart pot or something.
Yeah, save $1, but, I'm pretty sure these douchebags are gonna work.
Dude, I had a buddy of mine who used those same douchebags. He bought them direct from China. It killed his whole garden.
Oh, bro, what? So, I'm better off spending that extra $1 on a smart pot?
I'd get a smart pot.
Don't be a Duff man. Make sure to buy the original patented Smart Pot. Check them out at smartpots.com. You're listening to Heavy T's Grow Show. Call in right now, 562-653-0707 for your chance to talk to Heavy T, Horty Chris, and the Duff Man only on DFCRadio.com.
Hey man, your garden smells amazing this year. What are you doing different?
Haven't you heard? We've been using the Turpinator.
Did you say Turpinator like terpenes?
Yes, exactly. Turpinator is designed to increase your plant's terpenes, which are responsible for everything from how your plants smell to how much flavorful oils they produce. Basically, Turpinator is the one-stop shop for an overall quality increase for your fruits and flowers.
That's awesome. I can tell the Turpinator has not only increased the oils in all your herbs and flowers, but it looks like it's going to increase your dry weight as well. And dude, don't even get me started on those crystals. They look like mini icebergs.
Well, you better hurry up and get on board. It's flowering season right now. And since Turpinator is made right here in Sonoma County, you can literally find it in any hydro store in town. Boost your plant's oils and bring out flavors that will drive your friends wild. Turpinator. Sticky is an understatement.
Coming to grips with measuring pH is a fundamental part of ensuring a successful crop. Of course, having the right nutrient mix is important, but without a slightly acidic pH level, plants won't receive optimal benefits from the nutrients supplied. Blue Lab has a range of pH measurement tools available to help both the commercial and small-scale growers. These include the Blue Lab Guardian Monitor, the Blue Lab Combo Meter, the Blue Lab pH Meter, the Blue Lab pH Pen, and the Blue Lab Soil pH Meter. For more information, visit us online at getbluelab.com.
Hey, I'm in the zone! The cannabis portion of this show is designed as entertainment only for legal medicinal cannabis patients over 21 years of age and is not meant to encourage any other activity or use. Yeah, Dick.
So you're big time, huh?
Yeah, kinda.
Here we are, dude. Billy Graham, tissue culture. I know a lot of people out there, Bill, love tissue culture, but they're scared to even delve into it. How do they get into tissue culture? What do they got to do?
Well, that's what I've been doing all this time. I kind of led a lot of this way back when. I'm still in touch with the people who are using the kits every single day. I'm traveling with my tissue culture kit, and I'm not the difficult guy. I'm the one who makes everything easy. So it's really funny. It's the last time your listeners heard me was when I was in the studio, and our whole thing was put some plants into the tissue culture tubes. Those tubes are going to give you all your new clones forever. And that's all still there. And when everyone hears about tissue culture, that's what they see from what everybody's done with every other plant. What I wanted to share with your listeners today is that really just since like November, December, we started doing some shortcuts, and it was super cool. I wanted people to do this quickly and learn fast, so we would go in and we would take the user's clones, put them into the tissue culture tubes, and then grow them just for like two weeks, and we would take them out and put them right into rooting. So that way they knew how to start and how to finish, and then they were more interested in learning what to do in between. But what's very funny is it actually turned out that that's its own thing. Dude, this is going to blow your mind because you've seen all of this stuff before. I am making cuttings from trimmings when the veg plants are going into flower, and we're taking off those limbs that are just not really going to be anything, those toothpick thin branches. When I put them in the tissue culture liquid, Your listeners can't see this, but we're going to describe it. It started as a little skinny thing 10 days ago. I'm holding a 4-inch tall test tube that's full of plant and leaf that's now almost as thick as a chopstick. This started as a toothpick, and this in 10 days it's gotten this big. I'm going to take this out, put rooting gel on it, and put this right into my plug tray. This is my new plant start. Number one is I was able to make good clones from what would be trash. But I've also got all the advantages of tissue culture. Everybody looks at tissue culture. Number one, to get rid of mother plants. I took this from clippings. Number two is, as long as that liquid stays clear, this is disease-free. So we already know no fusarium, no powdery mildew. This is clean. We've got that whole nutrient sugar boost, so this guy's really vigorous. Number three is this is also my genetic booster, because I've got all the trace metals here and the hormone stimulation. And four, that hormone, this is the branching hormone. So tell your listeners, it's already branching and it's still in a test tube. This guy starts, these little branches, every leaf you see in this tube was not there. The piece that went in this tube was a 3-inch tall little naked toothpick with a little bit of green hair. And now I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 nodes that are already bushing out. And I'll grab any tube in that box and I'll tell you it has the same thing. Trim the bottom, put the root gel in it, root this in 10 days to root and a couple more weeks to start getting some good top growth. But from that clipping to a whole new veg plant you could take that clipping from again is about 8 weeks, which is exactly how long your veg plant from the first time took to flower. So I've just harvested Mom. She's already chopped up in the bud basket, and now the next generation is going in, and I'm putting my next bunch of clones in. So my veg plants are my clone donors.
Damn! Hey, wait. It's that easy, dude. Seriously, you just put the gel in there. You cut your plant at week 3 because you're like, hey, dog, I gotta get some of this bottom crap out of there. It's gonna be nothing, dude. It's gonna be Schwarf right there. And then there it is, dude. He's got a whole paper right here with a drawing, weeks 5 through 6. Dude, there it is. Week 5, you're killing it. So seriously, how many with the liquid that you provide? How many you could do? Thousands?
You can. I'd sell a starter kit with 16 tubes and the liquid for $60. From there, you own the tubes, and you'd only have to buy the liquid, which is going to be $15. So for less than $1 per cut. This is not so much tissue culture as this is a clone conditioning kit. I've discovered a whole new step between cutting your clone and rooting your clone.
Damn! He just blew our mind right there, dude. A whole new step. He's just thrown it in our face yeah, dog. It was that easy. I did that, no problem.
What I do, man. I've got this in commercial sizes. I've got 1,000 tube kits. We can do any number of anything anybody needs, but the materials are prepared ahead of time, so you just buy bottles, tubes, and some of my special chlorine. And this stuff is so easy. I want to let everyone know right now, if you're putting this on the air in the area, we're at the Sonoma County Fairgrounds at the CannaCon. I am taking users' clones right here today, tomorrow, and Saturday. Bring me a 4-inch clone with the leaves cut off, about a 1/2 inch of leaf stem, and we will wash it and put it into tissue culture right here, and you can take it home for free.
Damn, Billy Graham right now. Hey, guys, you're probably going to hear this a little late. Billy Graham would have done it for you when you hear this. He would have cloned it for you, dude, and put it in his little tube in his solution. And the solution is great priced, and you know what? He just knocked a whole step out for you, dude. He made it. Look at this. He's got a whole pack. Tubes are there. Liquids there. That's all you need. And Heavy T's Grow Show flyers right there. Billy Graham knows what's up. He's been a long-time listener, a huge fan. We're a fan of his. And we want to let you know, tissue culture is the future. Seriously. I mean, why else wouldn't it? It's not going to be the future, right?
This is a tool that everybody serious about propagation and serious about plant cleanliness and quality should include in their garden, even if you're a 16-plant garden. Boom, it's right there. We put 20 cuts in. Hell, I'll double them up in the tube. Bang! Now we got 32 clones in 16 tubes. Okay, maybe we lose 1 or 2 to contamination, but I still got 14 good tubes. 16 tubes giving you 28 clones.
Damn, player. That's what's up. Take that to the bank and cash it, player. Check out Billy Graham's tissue culture. Where do you find it on the internet?
PlantTC.com. Also at webhydroponics.com.
That's right. Say those two things one more time.
Webhydroponics.com, one word, and PlantTC, T as in tissue, C as in culture.com.
There it is. From Billy Graham's mouth. You better go check that site out and get your crazy-ass tissue culture on. Get your clone on, guys. The new wave. The next step. I'm Duff with Billy Graham, and we out.
We're out.
Here we are, Canacon, Dr. Duff. I'm up in here in the Natural Enemies. What's the name of your company?
Natural Enemies.
I just said it, bro. Damn, I'm good, dude. I can read. That's Long Beach education at its finest. So, Natural Enemies. What the hell is Natural Enemies, dude? Do I just go get my homies and we go around and we just kick some ass?
For the most part, yeah. Beneficial insects or predatory mites that feed on the pest mites that people have in their garden.
So you have beneficial mites that you sell to the public for their garden to get. What is a beneficial mite? What does it look like?
Well, you can see them with the naked eye pretty easily. Simply, we got pictures here to show you. But yeah, they feed on the pests that you have in the garden. There's no negative impact on your plants whatsoever. It takes the place of any chemical applications to your crop.
So if you have spider mites in your garden, right? I'm going to go and buy my natural...
Persimilis. Buy Persimilis.
Buy Persimilis. What is that? What's that word?
Persimilis is most aggressive against two-spot spider mites, basically.
Bam! Knowledge for your brains. Did your face just melt like mine? It did. Okay, Persimilis. I said it right. I know I did. But anyways, check this out. They have spider mite, anti-spider mites. What are they called again?
Spider mite predators.
Spider mite predators that will go in and eat your spider mites. If you got webs on your garden, first of all, you're doing wrong because you got webs. And then you're going to need to get this Natural Enemies, bro.
Word.
Damn straight. Hey, how much does these natural predators, how much do they cost?
It just depends on which ones that you buy. There's slow-release sachets versus active adults. Just go online at naturalenemiesbiocontrol.com.
There it is, naturalenemiesbiocontrol.com. Check them out. How much would a small jar of some Natural Enemies cost you?
$33 is a minimum, but you need to have a $100 minimum to place an order.
There it is, $100, people, okay? And you know what? How much does a $100 treat? How big of an area?
It's dependent. Dependent on pest pressure and the populations that you have going on. So there's nothing, no specifics that we can give you on it.
So just get a big-ass bottle and just throw them out and let them go to business.
Slow-release sachets are what you want to treat preventatively. You don't ever want to get to the adults.
Damn straight. You don't want no webs up on your stuff because then you're just going to have to throw it away, right?
You got it.
Or my buddy over here, he'll smoke it. Yeah, 420. Thank you very much. Natural Enemies, thank you for coming on the Heavy Teas Grow Show.
Thank you.
Oh shit, Bovita's in the house. Canacon 2017, Sonoma County Fairgrounds. Just ran into Bovita. Do you know what Bovita is?
I do.
Oh, is that because you work for them?
It is.
Damn, son. How do I get a job?
You have to do a cartwheel all the way down.
Damn, I'm hired. I'm so hired, dude. Holy shit. Seriously, here we are, Heavy Teas Grow Show. I'm here with, what's your name?
Scott.
Scott, Bovita. Bovita, what is Bovita? What do you tell people Bovita is if they don't know? Because they should be knowing what a Bovita is.
Very simple. It's a two-way humidification that goes in with your cannabis and whatever you're storing that in, whether it's a baggie, ball jar, C-Vault, Medtainer, whatever it is. It's a little packet, and it goes in there. It's going to add or remove moisture to maintain a specific relative humidity, 58% or 62, depending on which one you use, and it's going to keep it fresh. So if you've got dry product, throw our packet in there. It's going to rehydrate it, bring it back to life. Or if it's perfect where it is, it's going to keep it there, maintain the weight, color, aroma, potency, all that good stuff.
Well, that's crazy. So you guys are saying that your packs, a 50, what was it, 52, 62, or what was it?
62 and 58.
58 and a 62% humidity. Those packs aren't necessarily meant to, like, if you have it way too dry,
it's not just for having dry ass product. It's to maintain it. So like you could go ahead and put it in there right after you're done cutting it up, and you want to keep it nice and fresh. You put a Boveda in there, and they'll keep it nice and fresh.
Exactly. Yep. So it's for all applications. If you got stuff that's too wet, it will pull moisture out. Now, if it's too dry, it's going to add it, and then it's going to maintain that 62% or 58. So it's not done when it adds, and it's done. It will keep it there for 2 to 4 months.
Damn, you guys got a great product. That is the best thing I've ever heard. Hey, guys, go check them out. Boveda, is it Boveda.com? What is it? How do we find you?
It's BovedaInc.com or on Amazon.
Am I saying it wrong? Is it Boveda?
It is Boveda, but hey, everyone says Boveda, or it's a bunch of different things. So,
okay, do it the Duff way. It's Boveda, dude, or Boveda. If you guys want to be French, call it Boveda. I'm American, so it's Boveda. Okay.
Hey, that works for us.
And you guys check them out on the internet. If you can't find them at your local hydroponics shop, you should tell them they need to get it because they're missing out on it. Don't get that stuff from that one company that distributes a bunch of knockoff stuff. Get the Boveda or the Boveda, okay, guys? Make sure it's that. It's got a unique packaging, and it's the shizzle.
Thank you, guys. Have a good day.
Thank you. KidCon 2017. Boveda. We're out of here. Fresh weed. That's what they say. Fresh weed. They're yelling at me, fresh weed over to the right of me. But it's good. That's what it does. It's fresh weed. It's Boveda. You like really harsh, dry weed? No. Then just go out to Southern California on those, those Santa Ana conditions and put your weed out there and smoke it. Okay? Dry time. And then you'll be crusty too, so you need to marinate yourself in lotion while you're at it. Let's take a few calls. Hey, we got Jen calling in. Hey, Jen, how you doing?
Hi, Jen.
Hey, Jen. What's your question?
I'm not new to radio.
Either am I, man.
The cannabis portion of this show is designed as entertainment only for legal medicinal cannabis patients over 21 years of age and is not meant to encourage any other activity or use.
She said she don't want them if they own her. She only want the nigga that don't want her. And nigga, you thirsty. You be all up in the ear, telling her the same shit she heard. Oh yeah, you thirsty in the worst way. You thirsty in the worst way, nigga. You thirsty in the worst way. You be telling her the same shit she heard. If you send your bitch my direction, I bet I won't give her no attention, no affection. Same old questions, nigga, you thirsty. Your mind on the pussy, in my mind where a purse be busy. Boy, I make the shit look easy. She know I don't want her for that very fact she need me. I'm Easty, but I grew up on the West. They hear me loud and clear, that's why this ear up on my chest. Honey gang running things, know that. That's why the bitch catch me where the dough at. And you can say that pussy, girl, you know that shit throw back. And if it ain't, I still don't give a fuck. You can hold that. Easy. She said she don't want them if they own her. She only want the nigga that don't want her. And nigga, you thirsty. You be all up in the ear, telling her the same shit she heard. Oh yeah, you thirsty in the worst way. You thirsty in the worst way, nigga. You thirsty in the worst way. You be telling her the same shit she heard. Oh
she
yeah.
Got no patience. I don't really like waiting. Nah, kinda wanna taste it. Oh girl, let me taste it. Oh, I don't like waiting. So girl, I ain't waiting at all. Make sure you take it. Make sure you take it. Oh, I work, I lay that pipe, you gon' get it. Bosco, 100 strokes to the bitches. I ain't with the bullshit, bitch, I'm with the business. Every time I fuck, make sure you put that ass in it.
She said she don't want them if they own her. She only want the nigga that don't want her. And nigga, you thirsty. You be all up in the ear, telling her the same shit she heard. Oh yeah, you thirsty in the worst way. You thirsty in the worst way, nigga. You thirsty in the worst way. You be telling her the same shit she heard. Oh yeah, what she wants don't require a question. What she needs is some direction. So I told her to go ahead and take her clothes off. And with no question, she did it 'cause I'm a real one. She said,
Yo, what's up? Welcome back, Heavy T's Grow Show. We're not going to be taking any more calls. Our screener freaked out.
He has left the building.
He said, hey, D, I feel like there's mice on me from Black Market Cultivator, so I need to go take a shower.
I gotta go.
We're like, you didn't even come in contact with BMC. I gotta go.
He knows something.
Yes. His dad works at the Port Authority. Oh, shit is going down.
I think his side chick was texting him, and he had to run away.
He might be getting blowies on the side. Yeah. You never know.
Jeez. Just air it out. Oh, was that a bus? Is there a bus stop? Oh, just
throw him right.
Real quick, Dutch, I want to ask you for the vegetable gardens.
Yes.
Let's say large scale tomatoes and things like your prepackaged seeds.
Yeah.
You can use seeds like how we talked about using potatoes from the market to start new sprouts and stuff and new plants. How do you go about prepping the seeds from like your normal cucumbers, tomatoes, things that are going to provide fruit substance for people, and also for the leafy vegetables? We talked about the bolting; that's the seeding of it.
Right.
We're wrapping up the show, but let the people know how they do it. Dry them out and don't put them in the oven.
Don't put them in the oven. You want to dry most of them out. Some of them, like a zucchini or cucumber, you want to separate completely from the pulp. Dry that out like on a paper towel. Make sure it's completely dry, mostly dry, and then you can plant those rather quickly, like pretty much right away. Cool thing with a tomato, the acids inside the tomato itself help break down the skin of the outer layer of the seed. That acidic, I guess, whatever the makeup is, breaks that outer layer down and actually helps the seed germinate. You can just take one tomato, sacrifice it right there in your garden. You got a six pack of tomatoes, greenhouse tomatoes, whatever, that you bought from the store. Take one of those off, cut it in half even, and then just throw that in your garden itself right there. The acids in that tomato itself will break down the outer layer of the seeds.
Is that why you get so many volunteers from tomato plants?
That's why you get so many volunteers.
Because as the fruit rots,
you have a dog.
It produces so much.
You have a dog, it ate one, and now you have a sixth thing of tomatoes growing out of it, and they're like all vining up some tree or something like that. But yeah, that's why it happens. Exactly. It's super easy. That acid helps break that down. A lot of fruit, vegetables are like that. Some fruits, you could do lemon trees and stuff like that. You won't get produce quickly off of those, but it's something you can always...
What about beans and things? Because
absolutely.
Because
if they're not cooked, you're good.
But would you just dry them out, or do you store them?
Beans can be used.
You don't
want
to put them in a plastic bag where they're still wet.
Yeah, so you would literally.
But if you were to store them for next season,
then you could store. You could do long-term storage in freezers. That's even for a year. You could do that. 1 year to 2 years is pretty good for a seed. That it's fine as long as it's dried properly. For most seeds, some seeds do take a scarcification or some sort of mode of action, like I mentioned, with the acid breaking down that outer layer. You can even scratch that and make that water penetrate easier to help seeds that are older that have been stored to germinate faster. But really, with most fresh produce, since it's relatively fresh, like it's just been brought from someplace maybe within the last week, those seeds are going to be extremely viable. So they're perfect for starting new seeds with, not having to do much.
Melons and stuff.
Melons, all those things, exactly. Melons you're going to want to dry out. They're a larger seed. They have like an outer casing that does need to be broken down. So drying that completely before will keep it better for storage. But if you want to use it right away, you can just literally plant it right away. But if you want to keep it even for like 2 weeks, you should dry it out completely.
On your veggie gardens, we know about starting cannabis seeds. I do a 24 to 48 hour soak with a couple drops of seaweed for germination.
You're paying $10 or so.
But is that the same thing that we're going to do with our vegetable seeds, or we just put 2 to 3 seeds in every hole that we plant?
Right. That's what we do. Usually you have an abundance of the seeds from the fruit where you could, put 2-3 seeds in one location, then thin them out and pick the one that out-competed the rest. We talked about competition. Right. They're going to be very close.
If you get all 3 sprouting up, guys, you have to thin it out. You don't let them grow against each other.
One will show its dominance soon, and when it does, you remove the other 2 because that's your most vigorous
And then you go give it to your kids and say, this is what we used to call a microgreen back in the day. But we can't waste these seeds in the apocalypse.
Yeah, exactly. We have to grow these. Yeah, microgreens aren't cutting it in the apocalypse.
Let me show you a picture of this hash rosin. Now all you get to smoke, son, is CRC.
Times have changed.
Oh man,
the White Claw used to be the staple. Now it's Bud Light Seltzer.
Yeah, the seltzers are wild. These things are all kind of wild. They're dangerous.
Yeah, it'll make you get drunk on St. Patrick's Day and barf on your face.
Yeah, and try to fight your friends and stuff.
One of my best friends, bro. I can't believe that you were gonna get beat up so easily.
I know you were gonna try to fight me, and I was gonna have to protect myself. Mark was
Lucky
saying he was scared.
Lucky I had my knife on me. I'm a train.
You didn't even have. You don't even have a knife.
What?
Oh yeah, you did. You did have a knife on you.
I've been carrying knives.
I just remember that. I just remember that.
That's his apocalypse knife.
You did have a knife on you. Jesus.
It's within the legal realm. Of, this is for just cutting lemons for my hot lemon water in between each seltzer. See, it's as big as my palm.
Carries a thing of cayenne and his own juicer.
Yeah. How does that work? Is it your own palm? So if you have really small hands, you got to have a small knife?
I think so.
I think that it's
Maybe
that's
the
a good
cop's
question.
hand?
Yeah, that exactly.
Like whose
that's
palm?
right. I was gonna say that because it's right.
If you got huge hands, you could have a big knife and just mess someone up.
Hey, real quick, talking about the changes in society norms, which this whole crisis is going to definitely have.
I hope it educates people on a lot of things.
But how about the for-profit medical system, right? We are seeing that the first thing they socialize is medicine during this, but also the for-profit prison system. The sheriff in LA County comes out, we're going to release all people that do not pose a threat
because we're not
to
making money
society
off of them anymore.
No, because they don't want the people to get sick and overwhelmed.
Yeah, we know. The medical. Why
the fuck, if they don't pose a threat to society, why are they locked up in the first place?
I know people from all walks of life, and I know people that are benefiting from that have been
released.
They're being released, yeah, that are going to benefit from this, and
they got to go into quarantine for 2 weeks. They can't come hang out at the show.
No, I keep them separated.
Yeah, Doc. Don't
exactly.
I got my knife.
Exactly. So, but I'm just saying, like,
shout out to Cali Boy Rock.
You don't get to choose
Cali Rock Boy.
You don't get to choose who
Hard Cali Rock, whatever it is
who
now.
you're always introduced to. But I know some people that
Cali Boy
happen
Hard
to be, and they're not in the. I
would
never
bad
bring.
guys.
I would never bring. Exactly. I wouldn't. If someone legitimately
just
was
don't
a
leave
bad
your
person,
weed out around them.
No, it's not.
Don't let them know where you live.
It's not that. Yeah.
If you don't want me to take it, why did you leave it on the table?
It's not even like that. Most of it's just
You mean my coffee table at my house? Oh. Yes, but anyways,
real unfortunate circumstance.
In these circumstances, everyone, I hope that everyone becomes a little bit kinder, a little bit more thoughtful as far as how your actions can affect or infect other people. Also, like I said, generosity, love, gratitude. These are the things that will heal the world, that will heal our society. And we need to grow through that. Us as growers, we have been affected by people with cancers, people that have chronic illnesses, that we've helped out, that are growing their own. We are a compassionate community. This is our time to shine. I joked about the new low. Just as people shouldn't be price gouging at stores and things where a roll of toilet paper is $20, that's wrong. Yeah. People that are making profiteering off of a situation like this are scumbags, and they should not have a place in the cannabis community. I mean, of course, if you are doing your thing, you need to be compensated for your time, your effort, what you invested into your garden. But I mean, at the end of the day, let's all be good to each other, and let's grow through this together. I'm Heavy T, and other than that, guys, we out.